right. Let's get it
Time
started.
to get serious now.
Time to get serious.
Are those all questions? Notes? You got right
Oh,
there?
man, I was studying you, man. I'm your biggest fan right now. You don't even know it. You don't
I
even know.
appreciate it, man.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, what it do? What the business is? It's your favorite Uncle Neek. You're now listening to Troubleshooting Reality. I got my co-host and we got special guests in the building. Co-host, introduce yourself.
You already know it's your boy Urben Currse. Your mother favorite son, you know I got a gun and go Bracumpi Sincanta Chacampo Seke.
It's your girl Daisy Dukes. I'm still working on my intro. Today I'm gonna say it's your girl Daisy Dukes and I like ice cream.
What flavor?
What's your flavor?
Tell me what's your flavor.
All right. And we got special guests. Welcome to the field. But this how we do it over here. You got to introduce yourself.
That's no problem, y'all. First of all, I want to sit down and say thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I'm very, very happy to have the opportunity to sit down with all you guys today. My name is Connor Overbay, and I'm the host of the Who Are You podcast here in Jacksonville. We sit down with local creatives, business owners, entrepreneurs, restaurateurs, athletes, and we pretty much get to tell their backstory a little bit as well as promote their business. So, if you guys ever want to check us out, it's going to be at Who Are You Pod on everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we was talking off mic a little bit. We actually ran into Connor at one of the podcast seminars.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And when we met
That was
him,
about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago, man.
You guys met me right in the beginning when I first started my podcast.
Both of us. We were at the beginning as
That's
well.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we were still on the phone.
Yeah. We started on the phone, but we're going to get into all that. We started straight off the phone coming over my house. Like
That was pre-KD.
Yeah,
pre-KD.
Yeah,
Pre-K.
yeah, pre-K. There we go, KD.
No, I love the setup, y'all. Everything you guys are putting out, everything from your videos to, just the content in general. I love seeing creatives here in Jacksonville getting to work together and be able to post stuff up. And you guys are doing an amazing job.
I appreciate that, man, because we put a lot of work in.
That means a lot.
It does.
Yeah, and he's one of the hardest workers out of all of us. Like he's the one that's doing the videos and all that stuff. And like we just tapping into becoming a director. He been on a movie, Katie. She getting in her feet wet into acting, and she do a lot of other stuff. Me, I'm over here doing what I can do the best way I can do it. I don't know what I do, but I just do it.
He does a lot. He downplayed himself.
He is.
Hey, man, it's hard work. I know what you guys are doing takes a lot of time, and just having the chance to come sit here, like I said, is awesome. You guys are my second ever interview where I'm being interviewed. And like I said, I don't get nervous doing interviews, like me interviewing other people. I was nervous driving over here.
Nerves are great. Nerves. If you're not nervous, I think everything goes to shit.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta have butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I love the chance to sit down and talk with y'all, man. Like I said, creatives coming together, helping promote each other.
Exactly.
That's the main goal of all of this.
Definitely. This was definitely long overdue for sure.
Hey, man, this isn't the only time. You guys will be coming on mine here soon.
I'm so excited.
Hey,
I'm excited to see how your setup looks, and
It took some time.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we doing ours as well, man. It takes time, but we understand the struggle.
Hey, man, it's just step by step. And like you said, you guys wanting to keep pushing and doing more things is the main thing you can really do. It's the people who stay and do the same thing over and over again, in my opinion, they don't make it. So as long as you guys keep evolving, you guys are going to do your thing and keep killing it.
Yeah.
That's a word. That is a word. Yeah. My first question.
Oh, we're right into it.
Look at you. You beat me to the punch. You go, girl.
My first question, how long were you in the pen?
How long I was in the pen? No, never. I know I'm from Jacksonville, but that ain't me.
So you just came home today.
I wanted to give you a bad boy image,
Right.
I'll ask you a question.
Nah, you guys are good. It's all good. It's no issue at all. Nah, never been in the pen. Just could try to keep my nose clean as much as I possibly can.
All right, so I got a question for you, Connor.
Yeah.
All right, so I love the podcast, man. By the way, I love the name. Who Are You is very direct. So let me ask you a question. Who are you all for Mike? Which in your family and your daily life and your routines and everything. Who are you?
You're good, man. For me, I mean, it's a daily question, to be honest with you. I'm just a guy who wanted to get involved in my community as much as I can. I've been very lucky in my life. I have a great family that's taken care of me my whole life and has taught me the value of hard work. Parents divorced when I was young, so dealt with that a little bit, but I watched both my parents go from, being together making decent money to divorcing and having to start over again. And grew up with obviously my dad was in the picture 100%. And then my mom, I lived with her mostly, watched her grow up into who she is today. And, being the first child, you get to see your parents go from, my parents had me when they were 27, 28 years old. So I basically got to watch them at the age I am now to being grown-ups and everything.
Wow.
But for me, man, growing up, I was really into sports, played basketball for many years, football a little bit. And the reason why I started my podcast was I would come home every single day after working my job. I do pest control, and I would go sit there on my butt and just look at my phone for 4 hours. And after a while, I was just like, what am I doing with my life? And like with me as well as battling depression my whole life, kind of going through that. And I was like, what can I put my energy into that would give something to my community as well as give something to me? And starting the podcast has been an amazing thing. I've gotten to meet great people like you guys and, many other creatives here in Jacksonville, and gotten to work with a lot of amazing people. And I'm very lucky, and I'm actually very proud of the product that we put out.
I love that. That's so dope. I battled with the same thing of like, just after getting off work and like sitting in your phone and being like, okay, there has to be more to life than just getting home and, sitting on your phone. So what was the first step that you took to, start?
I mean, the first step for me, as I was telling you guys, was battling depression. It's been a lifelong thing for me. I had issues with suicidal thoughts, not wanting to be here anymore, and causing issues with that kind of stuff. And I was a very angry child. I was growing up. I didn't understand why the world was the way it was. And it took me to really start learning other people's stories to understand what my story is. Getting to hear people who had nothing and grow up and make themselves something today makes me really put things into perspective of, there's people out here who are struggling every day for food, just to pay that electric bill, and it puts things in perspective for me that there's a lot more that I can do. And also wanting to get more involved in my community is the biggest thing is, it might not be financially, but at least I can promote the businesses here in Jacksonville.
Right.
With us, we don't care if you have 1 follower or 10 million followers. Everybody has an opportunity. We don't charge anybody a single dollar, and we promote them for a week. So
I love that.
Yeah. So with me, I bought the Roadcaster that we were talking about before. I brought that piece of equipment. I also am very lucky to have a wife that supports me. I brought up the fact to her. I was like, I've been really good at talking my whole life. I think this would be something that could be cool. I'm also a huge listener of podcasts with what I do for a job all day in the pest control truck. I listen to podcasts all day.
Okay.
So I started kind of putting pieces together, and one day I was just like, let's do it. Let's start it. And I started off the Roadcaster, 2 microphones, and my kitchen table.
Wow.
And just started reaching out to people, and no one cared for the first year, which was, it is what it is.
As it is going to be that.
Yeah, it's just, you got to put a body of work out for people that care about it.
Yeah.
And, my first interview was actually my wife, Shannon.
Shout out to wifey Shannon, man.
Yeah, I got my equipment one day, and I was like, let's sit down, let's do this. And she has a very interesting story. She grew up a very interesting life. Unfortunately, her father died when she was 5 years old, and she was there when it happened and everything. So we kind of talked through that whole situation and got to learn. Obviously, I've known her story for a while now, but putting that stuff out there, and I'm big into having people talk about some of the darker sides. I can see your highlights on Instagram all day long. That's fine, but let me know who you really are.
Right.
And that's where who are you came from.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
Were you uncomfortable at first talking about like past traumas and stuff like that? Because sometimes when you dig into your past, it can make you be like, damn, I'm not healed.
I'm definitely not healed in any way, shape, or form, but at the end of the day, you're never going to be perfect. And my thing is, I feel like I get more power and I learn more stuff about myself while listening to other people's stories. I'm sure not being funny about calling like an older gentleman, like older than me is what I'm saying.
I'm an old ass.
No,
It's like an old fuck like you.
You see the gray hairs?
No, but like the big thing is like your generation was taught not to talk about what was going on in their lives.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yes.
And if I didn't start talking about my situation, like I'm big into therapy and all that stuff, if I didn't talk about it, I wouldn't be here to this day. So my big thing is people are always like, what are we going to talk about for an hour? And then I start digging a little bit, seeing what's comfortable with them. And then I give them a little side question like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
And I'm just big on people talking about their stuff because at least in my opinion, that's what's helped me. And I think there's people out there that will hear that story and give them let them take a second back and be like, wow, I've had a similar situation. Maybe I can implement something that they said into my life and try to help people in general.
Right.
I've worked in NA centers, Narcotics Anonymous, AA, and listened to stories, and it was just very inspiring for me. So I've always enjoyed it.
How old are you again?
I'm 25.
You're 25. Are you an empath?
Empath?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. With me, I'm pretty empathetic to a lot of things. You know, I've seen a lot of rough stuff growing up, and it hardened me for a while, and to the point where I didn't trust anybody. And then I started seeing what that does. You don't get anywhere without help.
Yeah.
You don't. Now, obviously, like with what you guys do, you guys all have I have a scent in my mouth. You guys all have a specific spot in this podcast, what you guys do.
Right.
And being a team is a huge thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And when I started asking for help is when I started seeing things grow and actually getting closer with people and, you know, making relationships rather than being that lone wolf, because that's not the guy I am. I'm a very much happy-go-lucky guy. I do have my bad days, like I was talking about the depression and everything, but I'm lucky enough that I have like my wife, my family, and people that I can talk to, and also the podcast itself to get my thoughts out. It doesn't mean I'm fixed or healed in any way, but it does help me, you know, get my thoughts out there, talk about it, and just put it out there to the world.
Right. So you treat podcasts like therapy almost.
Yes. Very.
This is definitely my therapy.
Yes.
I mean, it's an hour or two of you not really having, obviously you're thinking about your questions and thinking about what you want to talk about. But for me, I leave it as an open-end conversation. Like I don't send notes to people like, oh, this is what we're going to talk about.
Right.
Because I don't want it to be rehearsed. I want there to be, you know, fuck ups where you're like, oh shit, I said that. I don't know if I should have said that. But at the end of the day, it's a big thing for people to get out there and talk. And I feel like in this world now, you know, podcasts are taking over more than the news, more than anything else that you see.
You're not wrong.
And we also don't have our overlords telling us what we can and cannot talk about. And I find that to be the most powerful thing that you can do.
You said Oprah Lord.
Overlord.
What you say?
I'm about to say that's hard, boy. Oprah, like Oprah.
Oprah.
Like the Oprah is the Lord's, like she's controlling everything.
Hey, we might have to trademark that.
That's bars.
Hey, just act like you said that. Like
Hey, there's some conspiracy theories about her, man.
I don't believe the conspiracies. Let's put that
Hold on. You already ran into my questions. You done fucked up now. All right. So you believe in conspiracies, right?
I wouldn't say I believe in conspiracy. There's certain ones I would say that I can see that there is like a line of truth, but I love thinking about things that you're never going to know the answer to.
Could you name one?
Okay.
So, conspiracy theories. Let me think.
I got some questions.
Yeah, you're fine.
Go ahead.
So, I got one for you. So, aliens.
Okay.
Let's talk about
He already ran into it. Area 51.
Yeah.
Area 51. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for me personally, I'm not personally religious. I don't think there's anything wrong with being religious. Growing up, it was a little bit shoved down my throat. And I also believe like my big thing is like, I don't care what color your skin is, what you like, you know, your religious beliefs, or if you're gay or straight. That's something I was taught from a very young age. So going into things where I saw people getting casted out because of maybe they're gay or they're Muslim or you know, whatever else you want to call it, I just didn't like that personally. I remember there's a church here in Jacksonville. I'm not going to say which one, just because I'm not trying. It's a big one with 11 as the start of the name.
Okay. Let's get it.
So I remember I was dating someone in high school at the time, and I went and I'm sitting there and I was watching the screen. A screen comes down from the stage. And I'm sitting there watching, and a girl comes up on the screen, pops up, and she's like, you know, I was married to my wife, had a happy life, blah, 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 blah. And I come to the church, and they showed me the ways of where I was wrong. And she divorced her wife. And she's like, I've seen the word of God and done all that stuff. And I'm like, I literally got up and walked. I was like, nope. I was like, that's... You know, for me, I'm about inclusivity. You know, we all have a story. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, or maybe you have some beliefs that I don't believe in, which we all do.
Right. Absolutely.
I would say I'm big on just being inclusive, trying to like, you know, like I live my life in a way that is religious, like love thy neighbor, help your community, you know, when you can. And I kind of live my life the way that maybe someone is watching, but I don't believe in, you know, the guy on the cloud or whatever it is kind of thing. Okay. So, but the alien side of things, to make you guys think about that is, you know, it's crazy how we went from, you say we came from primates, right? And now we can, you know, build buildings like we're sitting in right now. We drive cars, but 100 years ago, that wasn't a thing. You know, there's so much stuff that happens so quick. And I don't know, I think that stuff's interesting to think about because we really don't know what our history is. from being human beings. They say they do,
right?
But they're also discovering new things every single day.
Absolutely.
You know. So, do you guys have any thoughts on the alien side of things?
I think they definitely exist.
I agree.
I agree too. I think me and you already talked about this on episodes before. I said, so mine is, I believe they were here before us.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that we keep on seeing UFO spottings because they're coming back to Concord.
See, that's the thing. So I'm a big Joe Rogan fan.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
And obviously he has guys on there who have wild things and stuff. When it comes to the alien side of things, I have a feeling that maybe they leave stuff for us to discover, like technology-wise. So think about the pyramids. Those things were built with stones that were from quarries that were 100 miles away.
Right.
They didn't have cranes. They didn't have this stuff. And they were perfectly cut to where they are, no rain can get inside. Air can barely pass through and everything. And I just feel like there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on that we're not currently aware of. And also, and like in my opinion, the government doesn't tell us everything. So how are we supposed to know what really all happened? And you know, stuff's coming up a little bit 100%. Here and there. So
but you know what else somebody told me though, because we actually talk about this shit a lot.
I love it.
The ocean. I believe a lot of those creatures down there, those are aliens. Because we're discovering new creatures every time somebody goes a little more deeper.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's not even physically. It's that you send the machines down there.
Oh yeah,
you know that's just showing you that it's a whole nother world down there.
Yes.
Well, just think, if we didn't know what an octopus was, and it came up on our beach, we would think that's an alien.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like, and also I think we've only discovered 10-20% of the ocean. So there's a lot of stuff in there that we're not aware of, you know. But no, I love conspiracy talk. It's interesting because you just may never know the answer, but it's always cool to talk about it.
Okay. What about chemtrails?
I know what you're talking about. I don't have much of an opinion on that one, to be 100%.
Can you enlighten me? I can tell you what.
Oh, you know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So when you look in the sky, right, and you notice how you get you see a jet, and it's usually like the jet fuel, that little whatever the remnants that's left behind, and it dissipates right into the air. With chemtrails, you'll see that line, but then after about after about an hour or two, it spreads, and you'll see the haze in the sky. So pretty much, it's exactly what it is. Like they're leaving chemical trails in the air. For me, conspiracy wise, you can't tell me that COVID wasn't put in through those chemtrails.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's a worldwide. That's my conspiracy. It happened worldwide. There's no way I could just touch you like what's the movie Poltergeist or whatever the case may be or whatever it was, and just I got it. Like it's worldwide. Like so, those things are like conspiracy theories that I think about. Like they putting that stuff in the sky, but chemtrails are definitely a thing that I believe like cause cancer, all those things. Like you got people that never smoke. God rest my father. So my father never smoked, got throat cancer. How? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean?
I can see what you're saying, but also like with like food, man. Like
that is true.
Exactly.
That is true.
That's the biggest thing. If you look at photos from back, let's just say the 60s, everybody was somewhat thin. You know, they didn't have 400-pound people. Obviously, there's outliers and everything.
Right.
But if you look at videos and stuff, everybody was pretty thin.
Yeah.
I just feel like the stuff that we get fed nowadays, whether it's fast food
Absolutely.
or
it's full of steroids. It's full
the meats.
It's popped up.
Or you go into Publix, man. Everything in those middle aisles is garbage.
Yeah.
Everything. And then you go to the vegetables and you don't know what those have been sprayed with. You know, all this stuff. And like what I do for a job, pest control, you know, I know what those chemicals can do and it could kill you. Like 100%. If I just poured a bottle and just drank that, I'd be dead in like, you know, an hour or two kind of
Absolutely.
thing.
And then you look at the ingredients and shit. Somebody told me one time, they was like, if you cannot read it and understand it, don't put it in your body.
Yeah.
And they was saying like how we got so much cereal now. They was like, that's how the kids are starting to get all these disorders and shit like that.
I stopped eating cereal because I looked on the back and most of them said, what's the word? Bio something?
Bioengineer.
Yeah, food. I'm like, oh. You're just going to tell me. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know.
I mean, well, they're going to hide it in plain sight.
Yeah.
You know, they're telling you exactly what it is. It's just, are you doing the research to find out what hydroglyph or blah, blah, blah is? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, most people are not going to do that. Like I've been trying to figure out like my stomach health. Like I've never been a guy that had a big stomach. And then within the last year or two, I've been noticing it. And it's just like a lot of enriched foods and stuff like that. And, you know, cause like there's certain, cause everybody know I don't eat meat, but
I did not know that.
I still keep on weight because eat a lot of M&Ms.
You got a sweet tooth.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a big sweets guy. I'm right there with you.
So it's like,
Oh, we
it's
gonna talk
hard,
about that
bruh.
too. Shit.
And see, you're still young, so
Yeah,
your
your
metabolism is still going.
Oh no, it's not like that, man. I work out.
Oh, you work out too?
work out?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was just telling him before I came here. I had a guy on the podcast. His name is Neil Sterling. He's an old Jaguars player. He played for a couple years for them and ended up retiring because of concussions. He opened a business here. It's called ISI Elite Training, and basically it's a class, and you go in there and he leads you through the workouts. When I tell you, I thought I was gonna die. So they take you. It's 8 different stations that you do. So every 40 seconds you're doing like however many reps, and then you move to the next station after doing 4 sets over there. And then you go, dude. On my 6th one, I went into the bathroom and vomited, and then I went back in. And
It doesn't give your body a time to rest.
oh no, but
Yeah, I love that.
When I tell you that man was killing me, and he kept walking by and high-fiving me, I'm like.
I would never
But you were
volunteer
always
for
an
that.
athlete, though.
I was, but also it's been high school's 7 years ago now.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I haven't played basketball in a minute. You know?
We always feel old as well. I'm like, shit.
Hey, it was
God damn.
a little bit ago for me, you know.
Love that.
Yeah, I say I'm a young man with an old soul is what I say.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
I can sense that.
Let me bring up the famous debate. The water.
The water.
You don't know nobody's water debate?
No.
Oh,
Big-
oh,
you like me,
right.
Connor,
please.
introduce your water debate to us, because I think
Water has no taste.
No,
That's not the one?
No. Let him explain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
This got the internet mad at me.
What?
There was people mad, including my wife.
Are you mad at him too? Oh man. All right.
So I'm a person that believes. So I'm not talking about like creek water and like sewage or whatever it is. I'm talking about this bottle of water right here. They all taste the same.
Okay.
No.
So Aquafina, Zephyr Hills, all that stuff. At the end of the day, they're probably getting that shit out of a hose and putting it in your water bottle.
They say it on the bag where it comes.
Hold on, let me
That's
I think it depends on the hose. Some holes are a little dirtier than others.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever drunk smart water?
Yeah.
It tastes way different.
See, like I said, man, I've drank them all. You can ask Shannon, like, we've had this debate. I'll drink any water. I'll drink tap water. I don't care.
Oh man.
Oh, you can
It
have-
just it doesn't like okay. Some taste more filtered than others. Like Zephyr Hill, I hate Zephyr Hill. Zephyr Hill is like, but I have to drink it when I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
But when I'm drinking, I'm like, this tastes a little dirty. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel about Dasani.
Dasani all day.
Yes, another
Dasani
one.
is
Dasani.
disgusting.
It's like this, and I really think it's the bottles. It's
The
the bottles
the
and
plastic.
also how they filter the water as
Because
well.
you're supposed to put it in glass.
I
Yeah.
can sense that, but like when I drink Dasani, it feels like spit.
What's spit feel like?
A bottle
spit
full of
feel like?
It feels like I'm drinking spit when I drink Dasani. It's like a film.
No.
I can't.
So-
but I think maybe it's your
Coated
taste
water.
buds. Maybe do you?
Well, what's funny enough about that is like I cook. I'm a good cook. And
Okay.
you can ask me, like, if Shannon, am I decent? You don't have to.
She shook her head. No, she said, I'm joking.
No, you're good. She doesn't cook, so whatever. But growing up with my mom and stuff, she taught me how to cook. My dad taught me how to cook and everything. Like I can cook stuff. Like one of my major dishes is chicken piccata. It's a flattened chicken breast, lightly seared on both sides, with a lemon butter sauce. And I make the lemon butter sauce homemade and everything.
Oh shit.
Yeah, see, you guys are.
Okay.
I ain't one of those pasty white boys that don't put seasoning on
Hey,
food.
I gotta taste it first. I gotta
say
taste
season
it.
is food.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I gotta
talking
taste it
Can
first.
we
I
have
gotta
food
taste
when
it.
we come and do our interviews? Please and thank you. So appreciate
I don't know
it.
about that.
A catering service.
Maybe we could do an episode where we like get a flat plate or something and we like we challenge each other.
Oh, what you want to do? The hot chip challenge?
No, I would
Absolutely
never
not.
do that.
So funny enough that you brought that up. Me and Shannon have been talking about this, and I would be more than down to bring you guys in on it. We're talking about doing like, say, get 5 burgers or 5 chicken sandwiches from different restaurants, blindfold yourself, and you tell me if you know the brand, where we got it from, and you rate it.
I could do that.
You know what I mean? And then at the end, we like obviously, Shannon would be there watching, and she'd be able to tell us like, oh, you got that right or you got that wrong and
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
I think that'd be a cool idea. Like we're gonna be starting our Patreon here soon.
Okay.
So we want to do like little side stuff like that. I think that'd
Yeah,
be cool. But
that's dope.
I could definitely tell a chicken sandwich from a different one. I'm a
think so?
chicken sandwich connoisseur.
I
I
can
am
taste.
too.
I can taste Burger King.
Yeah.
Like Burger King has like a very distinguished taste.
Their chicken sandwich or just a burger?
It's just a burger. Because they use like a charcoal grill or some shit like that.
I'm not a big fan of BK personally. And funny enough, my first job and one of my longest jobs was I became a manager for Five Guys Burgers and Fries when I was 18. I worked there. I worked from cash register all the way up to basically right below general manager.
Oh, wow.
So,
Welcome to Five Guys. I love that. It make me feel so welcome when I come in.
Funny enough, that's actually how me and Shannon met.
I was gonna just about
you
to
worked at
ask y'all
Five
that.
Guys?
How did y'all meet? Word.
Oh, so you was dating the coworker.
I was her boss man.
Ooh, messy.
Hey, listen, I've been there. Me and my girl was the same way. Did you
Y'all
get
was
fired?
breaking all the
Did you
HR
get,
rules.
did you get fired? Because they tried to fire me.
So what happened?
They did. Here's a big thing.
So there was a thing. So what happened was my general manager came up to me and he's like, "You guys dating?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I was like,
dog, I don't know shit.
I told him, I was like, "You got proof?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "What kind of conversation are we having right now?" So yeah, no. But funny enough, what ended up happening was I was working at another Five Guys. The general manager there, me and him had an issue. He grabbed me, threw me up against the wall, and I punched him in the mouth.
Oh, my gosh.
And they moved me from that store. And I took over.
Wait, go back.
Yeah,
You kept his
You flew
job.
past real quick. What made him throw you up against the wall?
So this, I'm not gonna say his name, but this guy.
You gotta say names.
Nah. So what happened with that one was something happened. He was a guy that would just fly off the handle and he would say the most fucked up shit. Like there was a girl that worked there for one day and he was like screaming at her in the morning. I literally pulled him aside. I'm like, "You need to watch your fucking mouth." And I'm like, how do you expect us to have people want to work for us when you're doing that? And for me, when it comes to like at work, if you're doing your job, you're not gonna hear me say a word to you that's like a problem. You know, I'll sit there and talk with you, chit chat. As long as you guys are doing the job and not making me look bad, I'm not gonna say a word.
right there with you. Yeah.
I'll say, I don't care what you guys got going on. So yeah, something happened. There was some altercation. It was back when I was like 18, 19, but he grabbed me by the shirt, put me up against the wall, and I was like, "All right, bet." And just, first reaction. And that
I knew you were a bad boy.
No.
See, you proved it. You got it out of
No, for me, I'm very much a man of respect.
Absolutely.
If I'm respecting you, you respect me, and we're cool. You know, I mean, don't put your hands on me. That's to this day. I'm very much like, I'm not the one to start a fight. I'm not that guy. I'm just very much like, if I see a situation going on, I'm quick to walk away and just get away from it. But that situation happened. So funny enough, Shannon was dating this guy.
Wait a minute.
Hold
This
on.
needs to be in
I love
the
this story.
soap opera.
Redemption like a motherfucker. I got the girl, boy. Let me stop going back. I'm sorry.
You stole his girl.
Nah, so it was more of a situationship, as we'll call it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Funny enough, the first time I ever laid eyes on Shannon, she came into my store. She was wearing a red dress.
She got mouth wide open for all the people that can't see.
I
love this.
She came in and I was working the store at the time. She came up and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? Is there something I can help you?" She's like, "Hey, I'm here to say what's up to whatever his name is." And I was like, "No problem. I'll go grab him." I was like, "Is there anything I can grab you?" She gave me the weirdest request. She's like, "Can I get some green peppers?" I'm like, "Sure." So I gave her like some chopped up green.
Well, we should have put the other mic on.
We should have. We really should have.
But anyways, she didn't give me the time of day. And like for me, like I'm very much a person, like I hate silence. So I'm going to talk to people. I'm like, I'll just start a conversation whether I can or not. Anyways, didn't give me the time of day. And she left, whatever it was, and then that whole situation happened, and I moved over to her store. And we were best friends, hung out all the time, hung out every single day. Nothing weird, like, nothing like kissing, nothing like that.
While the situationship is going on.
Well, like I said, it was a situationship, and then some other
It sounded like you got a long car ride.
I'm just trying to see if he was playing his game right, or if he was,
No.
Well, funny enough, I was dating someone at the time, the same person I went to the church with. So, like, for me, like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm not that guy. I'm very much like 100% in, whatever. Horrible relationship. The girl cheated on me in my own bed. Fuck her.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
Girl.
So that happened, and I ended up going over to her store, and apparently what would you say, Shannon? My reputation preceded me, and apparently people knew I was pretty
bad man in my bad mind. We told you.
Well, it wasn't even that. I was known as a very lax manager. As long as you did, like I said, as long as you did your job and no one's yelling at me, I didn't say a word to you. So I came over there and they already kind of knew what was going on. Like, oh, he's chill. I can hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And funny enough, we just hung out every single day. And one day it just kind of turned into a relationship kind of thing. 1 month into us dating, I asked her to move in with me. And 7 years later, we're married and all that stuff.
You said 1 month after you.
After he was dating.
But how long were y'all hanging out before y'all started dating?
4 months, yeah.
4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did homeboy take it? Like,
well,
because
so like I said, it was just go ahead, Sean.
Okay. Go ahead.
That situationship was long over before he even came to my store.
Okay. See, I'm trying to get the timeline to make sure of what happened. If he if he stole you or what, you know what I'm saying?
Am I allowed to tell the story about you being in my car and you ducked down?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
Shannon is sexy red.
Hey.
I'm out of town.
Hey.
Look at my round.
Hey, no, nothing but respect. And like I said,
I love it.
She wasn't mine at the time, so I'm not gonna say a word.
Right.
Hey,
But-
that's your wife now, so it don't
Yeah,
matter.
no, exactly. So one day she was talking to another dude. This is after we actually started hanging out and shooting the shit and all that stuff. And one day she's in my car. Homeboy drives by. When I tell you, she ducked down into my floor mats and she's,
Oh, you had to get out of there. You had to get out of that jam.
oh man, it was so funny. But the funny thing though is with Shannon, the first night she ever slept over, the first night ever she slept over, I treated her like a piece of glass. I slept on the other side of the bed.
A gentleman.
Well, for me, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5", so I don't want anything to feel forced in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, she's staying over. I should have known. And then the next day she wakes up, she's like, "You didn't cuddle me, nothing." I was like, hey, I was trying to be respectful. I didn't want you to feel like this was me, forcing anything going on. I was trying to be respectful. And yeah. And
But now I know it's going down. so go back a little bit, because you fast forward a little bit.
You're fine.
What did you do when she ducked down into the seat?
Oh, I cracked up.
I could just imagine.
Oh no, I looked. No. No, I knew. Because she told me what was going on. I looked over to the side. I was like,
Oh man.
He waved back. Okay.
Here's your guts. He would not wait back.
Oh my God. Hold on. So let me ask you something. When did you first find out that you was in love with her?
So to be honest with you guys, we were just really good friends, and for me, I've been kind of had issues with relationships, romantic relationships and stuff. And me and her just vibed really well. She was my best friend when we were hanging out and doing all this stuff. I wasn't trying to do any of that stuff or anything like that. I was just you're my homie. I'd hang out with you. We'd go hang out, do stuff, go around town. And then I forgot exactly what happened, but we kissed one day. And it just kind of went from there, it just kept on growing. And it was funny. I thought we were in a relationship, and she kept calling me her boo thing, and it was pissing me off.
Because she said, no, you didn't ask me.
That's exactly what.
Why do women need that entitlement? Why do women need that entitlement?
What do you mean?
Can you get on mic and answer that question? Why do women need that sense of entitlement?
This girl was living with me at the time, so I don't know how much more of a commitment.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
It still needs
I
to be
gave you
established.
everything. I didn't even I gave keys, everything.
She didn't pay for the first year that we dated. She didn't pay rent. I paid for, and this isn't on her, her telling me I had to.
No, I feel what you're saying.
I was trying to be impressive, all that shit, and was stupid as fuck. But I was like, you don't have to pay rent. You can stay here with me. I took her out to dinner, went on dates. Everything was paid for. I was like, just come be with me. And like I said, it was just one of those things. But
hey, where they at?
yeah,
Where they at? Where they at?
And then I finally asked her, and we became a relationship and all that stuff. We've lived in 5 apartments together now. Yeah, it's like I said.
It's funny how you say where they at. She was worth that, right?
Oh, 100%.
That's the thing. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. That person has to be worth for me to say, yo, even if you may think it's stupid, but you thought it was worth enough. It was worth enough to take care of her.
Oh, no, like I said, and she didn't even need taken care of. To be honest, Shannon's one of the most independent women and one of the strongest women I know in my life. So I give her all respect. And she's been through a lot just like I have been. And I feel like it's kind of more like a kindred spirit. We both came together. We both had traumas. We both had issues growing up, with her dad not being around, my parents divorcing, and it was a messy one. And it was just turned out to be the right time and the right place. And I didn't even know it's what I needed at the time. And, now I put a ring on her finger and we are where we are now. And we also had a mini pig together as well. I don't know if I ever said that.
No.
Is that
You
a
don't
real
have it
thing?
anymore?
What's that?
Because I know
A mini pig, oink oink.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
shit.
because they say they never stay mini.
so that is true. So, but basically, what a mini pig is the runt of a runt. So it's basically like they mate runt pigs or small pigs together. And she came with me. I told her, I was like, the day I turned 18, I told my parents, like, I'm gonna get a pig, whether you like it or not. And then I moved out. And yeah, she was really cool. She was litter box trained, so she knew where to go use the bathroom. She lived in our apartment and would hang out with us. You could scratch her belly. She comes sit on your lap when you're sitting on the couch. All that stuff.
How big did she get?
What would you say, Shannon?
She got pictures?
Well, no, weight wise, would you say like 30, 40 pounds?
Okay, so it really was a miniature.
Yeah.
But she was a pot-belly pig. But Shannon has pictures actually. Shannon, if you have my, you got my phone right?
Pigs are the smartest dogs. People don't know that.
Shannon, my screensaver is a picture of us with a pig.
Like pigs get a bad name, like because of the.
Here, let me see it.
Yeah, because of the like the Bible and all that stuff. But pigs, like I used to want a potbelly. I used to want a pig.
That's my little piggy. Her name was Lulu.
That's when you first got him?
That's when we first got her. She was super cute. You're good. Just tap it. It's no problem. She was super cute.
That's dope.
She would
That
hang
is
out.
dope.
Yeah. So
I've never thought about getting a pig ever.
to be honest, man, they're super sweet animals.
It got a nice size.
Oh, so you still have
pretty
the
much
mini
a
pig
dog.
right now?
No.
It's kind of like yeah.
So the roommate that we were living with at the time, we ended up breaking the lease. It was just issues, having roommates and stuff. Just stuff wasn't working out. So we ended up having to break the lease, and we gave her to, we gave her to a no-kill farm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not crying or anything. I'm not getting choked up. I'm saying something about that.
He's sad, guys.
You need some water? Do we got some
Yeah,
more
you're good.
So
I got my
sorry
water.
for him.
Okay.
But no, she was super sweet. We wanted to make sure she went to a safe place, so she went to a no-kill shelter.
Oh my goodness, she was so chunky.
She's a little thicky.
Oh my goodness.
So have you gone back to go see her or anything? No. Okay.
Do y'all have any other pets?
We do. We have a fat man named Copper. He's our cat. He
Okay.
looks like Garfield.
Okay.
Big.
Everybody gotta get a fat cat that resembles God.
I'm a big animal person. I've loved
So that's
animals.
the most exotic animal you had?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. I had two. Well, I had 3 alligators at one time. Yeah.
3 alligators.
And then I got pictures and everything.
What the
I left
fuck?
my other phone downstairs. Yeah, I had 3 alligators in my apartment.
Those things have no souls, man.
Shoot, you could have listen. I love my alligators. They loved me. They ain't never bite me. I used
Have
to
you
have
ever met these alligators?
No, I was
I'm
young at the
just
time.
finding
I was
this
like,
out.
It's a conspiracy at this point.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
no, I showed you pictures. What you talking about?
I've never seen your alligator.
I'm showing you pictures. Me kissing
I
the
don't
alligator.
remember this.
Before when we go downstairs, I'm gonna show everybody. I got the pictures
I
downstairs.
don't remember this. This
Yeah.
is news in my ears.
No, I've had 3 alligators in my apartment. Everybody that knows me know that. Like,
Obviously, they're not like as tall as me. How long were they?
so one was 2 feet, and then the other 2 was about 12 inches. And in Baltimore, you were able to buy alligators. Not like Florida. Florida, you have to have 100 hours of handling. Also, because trust me, when I came to Florida, the first thing I went to is like, I'm gonna get me alligators since I know we're in Florida for sure.
What the hell made you want an alligator?
Okay, so when I was younger, my little brother's father had an alligator. So my mother got with him, and I was maybe like 14, 15 when she met him or something like that. And he had an alligator. I'm like, damn, I didn't know you could have alligators. So when I got older, I started going to the pet stores, my stuff and all of that. And then I got 2 the small ones. It was for me and my ex-girlfriend at the time. Then we broke up. So I wound up having another alligator. And then my son had gotten into a car accident. And I was going to leaving the hospital to go get some mice and stuff for the other 2. And when I went in there, it was a 2-foot one, about this big. And I was like, give it to me. And yeah, I had him in a 75-gallon tank, and I had the other 2 in a 30-gallon. And then when Katrina happened,
We're going way back now.
yeah, this is around Katrina.
Back in Katrina days.
This is around Katrina. So that's what I said. This is when I was in Baltimore. So, cause I've been here for like 7-8 years. But yeah. So when Katrina happened, I went to the store to go get some more food, and they was like, "Hey, listen, don't let nobody know you got these alligators because right now they trying to replenish all of the nests and stuff like that washed away. Cause like they used to get like natural nests and all that stuff right there. So when that happened, I called animal resource people to come and get the big one. But I'm not thinking, hey, get the other 2 out the tank before they get here. So they sitting right there at the front door, and the other one is sitting right here. So he come in there, he turned his back, he like, all right, man, listen, I can't leave these other 2 here. I was like, what you mean? He's like, I got to take those 2 as well. I was like, bro, I only called you for the 1. He was like, I already seen the 3. He was like, so I got to take them. And that's how I lost my alligators.
We better get off the alligator talk.
You're
I'm
kidding.
like, you're crazy.
That's wild.
Bro, you just found out that I'm crazy? This is nothing new?
It's nothing
This is
new.
nothing new.
Absolutely nothing.
And if I could have more alligators, I would have like 50 of them. I would. I swear to
I don't even see how people do the dragon things. What are they called?
Bearded dragons.
Oh no, bearded dragons Dragons are lovely.
They're cool. I've met them before.
Yes, they love the color.
I can't even touch it. I'm like this. Like
No, bearded dragons are dope.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. You just
dope.
gotta get to the pet store and just let them right on your shoulder.
But I did want to ask you something. Let's get a little bit more serious. So you said your parents divorced when you were younger. Do you think, being that you're married now, do you and your wife have those conversations about like divorce and long terms and stuff like that?
It's not an option.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's the thing about, like, obviously me and Shannon dated for 5 years before I proposed to you, right? Yeah. So for me, coming from like a broken home and everything, I just saw too much of, like, it was custody battles. Like, you know, my dad had to come up with an orange envelope or a manila envelope that had like tests, and my mom had to do certain stuff as well. And, you know, for me, I don't have that much hate in my heart. If I loved you enough to marry you, even if one day me and Shannon aren't able to be together or anything like that, I would do it amicably. I'm not going to come after her, and I would hope she wouldn't come after me either. But no, I wouldn't propose if I thought there was a chance of that. And we've also been through so much together. Like, I was a freshman in college when we met, and she's seen me go through so much stuff and become more of a man, and I've seen her become more of a woman. And like, we have similar goals. Like, we want to have kids. We want to have the house with the white picket fence and blah, 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 blah. It's just, that's not on my mind in any way, shape, or form. And anytime we have issues, I'm very much a guy that's like, you know, if I need 5 minutes, I'll take my 5 minutes and then we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, we may not be able to fix the issue right there, but at least we can have that open dialogue, and Absolutely. Shannon can come to me with anything that she has going on, and vice versa. I know, like with me, the mental health side of things, you know, there's been days she's seen me like in the shower crying, you know, just having issues, you know, going through stuff. And she's been very much a help for me. Like I said, I could not have chosen a better partner to have in my life. I'm very lucky to have someone who is willing to work with me, because there's some bad days where I'm an asshole. I'm just like mean, I'm down, blah, 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 blah. And she's willing to work with me. You know, she'll give me my space. Or, you know, I wanted to start the podcast. She was more than willing to do that. She lets me play video games at night for as long as I want, you know, and doesn't have an issue with it. And we're just like, we took our best friendship and just turned it into a relationship.
Okay, that's what's up.
So now, like I said, I'm very lucky. Like, I can't imagine life without having her in it, or, you know, the podcast without having her there. You know, like all the cool things that I get to do on the podcast or get to go to, I want her there with me. That's the main thing. Like, you know, if I go away for a trip for 5 days, I miss her 100%, you know.
That's what's up, man.
Sorry, not trying to get all gushy out here.
I love love.
You don't hear this as much more these days. You know?
Go ahead, do your thing.
No, I just said you just don't hear that as much these days, because a lot of people don't want to be around their partner, or their partner is annoying to be around, or like doesn't understand the goal, or doesn't understand, you know, what's going on, and knowing, like you said, even just from you working to podcasts to mental issues to all of those things. And if you could find somebody that you're equally yoked to, because you're not the same person. A lot of people think, hey, my partner should think like how I think, or do what I do. No, we're two different people. It's just, hey, do you understand this is who I am? And this is what I'm going through, and this is what I need from you, and this is what I don't need from you. You get what I'm saying? And those things are great. That's why I asked that question.
No, you guys are great. I love it.
Let me ask you some more questions. Let's tap in more into the podcast.
Let's get it.
All right, man. So after I was doing my research, I was actually wondering something. What's your favorite episode or moment that you realized that you was on the right track? The moment that you realized you was on the right track? Because I remember mine.
So it's a couple things, to be honest with you. Like I was telling you guys, the first year, no one cared. No one cared at all. And, you know, it's not like I have 1 million followers now. Like, we actually just hit 300 and something. So shout out to all my followers. Very lucky to have them. For me, it was a feeling I would get after I do a podcast. You know, we've sat down with many charities here in Jacksonville, many veterans, and whenever I hear someone say, that was awesome, you brought something out of me that I did not know that was even there, and I have a conversation about it, I love it. You know, it's just getting to know the person is the biggest part, because like I said, I'm a huge people person. Yeah. I might not know you personally, or like, obviously, you know, we've all met in the past, but we all don't know each other a whole lot. I'm just big in getting to know the story. Growing up, you know, like I was around so many different kinds of people, you know, like obviously growing up, for me, like I didn't need much. I was very lucky growing up. And then I started playing basketball, and I started, and, my teammates were guys who were in lower socioeconomic parts, whatever it is, lower class. And I would go to their houses and, go see what they had. And also that taught me to get to know the person a little bit more.
Yeah.
Not everybody has the same road as you did.
Right.
And you need to be willing, and it explains the person a little bit more if you can see what kind of was going on in their life. So for me, I'm trying to think the main spots. Like I said, it's just every time I do an episode, I just get so jazzed about it.
Yeah,
I just love getting to get out in the community and meeting people, or someone says, "Hey, I know who you are." That's cool. What I mean? It's not me just speaking into a void. And just, my main goal at the end of the day, even if it's just one person, if I can give them something that can help them out in their daily life, that's my main goal no matter what.
Okay.
The passion.
Was that a good answer?
No, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. I actually got another question that you just led right into.
Yeah.
So what profession do you actually want to interview? Like somebody that you're like, ooh, I want to interview this type of person in this profession type thing.
So the main person I'm trying to get right now,
shout him out,
is Mr. Babby, the owner of the Jumbo Shrimp. Is who I'm trying to get. I met him a couple times now. I would love to go do a podcast on home base at the Jumbo Shrimp field.
That would be dope.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, I've interviewed so many business owners. It's crazy what's all here. Like one guy, John, I forgot his last name, but he is the head of they make animatronics here in Jacksonville. They make the animatronics for Universal, Disney World. The rides you go in, you have the little guns, you shoot the targets and stuff. They make those here in Jacksonville. I had no idea that was a thing here.
Oh,
yeah, it's called Sally Dark Ride. Shout out to them. As well as I've gotten to sit down with the CEO of JEA here.
Oh shit!
The new one.
I need to talk to them.
Did he take some percentages off your bill after that?
It's funny. It's funny that you say that. I had so many people ask me why is my electric bill so high? And I would go and talk with them. And it's funny, a little behind the scenes thing. I was sitting there talking to him, and his handlers were to my right side, off camera.
Word.
Yeah. So I'd
be so JA man, from what I learned is that we're paying for y'all plant in Georgia that y'all building.
The nuclear one.
So am I lying?
He talked. No, I don't know about. I'm not gonna say that's what we're paying for.
Okay.
But so the new guy, so the old CEO is getting put in jail for fraud or evasion or something like that. So this guy took over, and I was talking to him. I was like, so what makes you the guy to do this? And he's worked in different kinds of factories and all kinds of stuff. But as you get to more of these guys who are higher up positions, it's interesting to see when you ask them a question because they analyze it. And he would also I was talking to his people before, and there's only certain things I could really talk about and everything like that. And that one's just it was a great interview. I enjoyed doing it, but it's interesting to see the powers that be. You hear about it or you see it on TV, and then you're like, oh, this is actually a real thing. I didn't realize this
publicists and
it pisses me off.
At the end of the day, it's what makes you the guy that can run a multi-billion-dollar company.
Absolutely.
So that's my biggest thing, but I would say some of my favorite ones are the charity work that we've gotten to do here. Me and Shannon have gotten to talk to Dreams Come True Foundation. They basically are like Make-A-Wish, but the Jacksonville version. And they've helped thousands of kids get their final wish because most of them are terminally ill, unfortunately. So getting out there to tell their story. There's another one's called Uniform. Oh, what's that one, Shannon? Thank you. Operation to Uniform, and they basically take veterans who are coming out of the armed forces or whatever, and they help them get into actual jobs. So they help take them through classes of this is how stuff works, and they kind of get them ready for the actual workforce.
Right.
Because I'm not a veteran, but it takes a lot to decompress and get out of that mode. I'm guessing, and they basically help them get jobs that are work for their skills and all that stuff. Another one called the Tribe Rehabilitation Center. They're awesome people, actually not too far away from here. They work with children with autism, Down syndrome, and they basically do occupational therapy.
Okay.
So help them learn how to feel and how to kind of be aware of your space and everything. Those are things that mean something to me personally, because I think it's so cool that people are out there giving back as much as they can and getting involved with kids, because in my opinion, kids are the last pure thing on earth.
Absolutely.
They're not, none of them are racist. None of them, all that stuff's taught. There's no hate. There's no hate in their heart. And that's my biggest thing. What I was originally going to school to be was, I was going to be a nurse that worked, I was going to be pediatrics. pediatric nurse, and like I said, it's hard, but that I love that kind of stuff when people are giving back and they're being selfless and can do all that. That's my favorite thing. I love getting out there and telling those stories.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
When's your birthday?
February 11th.
Oh, okay.
All these damn.
All right, happy belated, by the way. Happy belated.
Blessed earth strength.
Yeah, you're in the room full of Aries
all
right now.
these
We Aries
Aries,
right
You're
here.
good.
What are you? Okay.
She's
My birthday is a
January.
Capricorn.
Okay.
January what? 18th. Okay, my pops is the 17th.
Yeah.
Y'all believe in zodiac signs?
I wouldn't say I don't believe it. I'm not versed. I'm just not very versed in it, kind of thing. Her tattoo is her zodiac sign.
Okay.
Like you being like conspiracy theorists, like thinking about like face reading and like it's certain like they said if you got a bald chin, it's like your sex drive is high. If like your mouth is too lined up with this part, like you kill a person, they sleep. Like it's like ancient. It's like this ancient face reading stuff that's like it could determine like your personality and all that stuff. And then you got numerology, and then you got numerology. You got your natal chart and all this other stuff. So it's not just astrology. Life path number, all that. It's like all these different.
Oh yeah.
You know about all this stuff too. Oh, okay.
Let me ask you one thing, and then I'm gonna get back into the real podcast questions again.
You guys are good.
Let me ask you how you feel about the flat Earth theory.
I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Okay.
So the way I think about it is you got to think. So when you're flying on a plane, you don't think you'd fall off the side of the earth.
Right.
So, not hating on anybody who believes in it. That's fine. Whatever you guys believe in, that's cool.
I'm not flat Earth.
I'm not either. But also, I've gone on like cruises and done all that stuff to different parts of the world and everything.
See where it curves.
You can see the curve kind of thing. It's just
Pause.
no, but like I said, there's so many weird things out there in the world. I love hearing about stuff because it helps me form my opinion on things. Like whenever I talk to different people, there's so much stuff that I'm sure I disagree with different people.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like I'm okay with talking about it. I want to have a civilized conversation where we can both say our piece, not yelling at each other. Like the religious thing. I bring that up very frequently because I always am interested to hear why people believe in that. And if they do, and they give me a good answer, I'm like, awesome. That's great that you believe that strongly and that's why you believe.
Yeah.
But also like political stuff. Like I'm not a political person. I wouldn't sit here and say like I'm left or right. It's very much a situational thing. Like for me, like abortion or for example, like I'm pro marijuana. I feel like it
That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you guys are fine. But like the recreational side of things, and I'm also big on like the government not being able to tell us what we can and cannot do with our bodies. Like the abortion side of things and stuff. Like I'm a man. I don't have the right to tell Shannon what she wants to do with her body. Same with you. It's a very situational thing with a lot of stuff.
And I'm glad you brought up pro marijuana. By the way, I want to say congratulations to you. I did my research. You quit smoking cigarettes.
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah. So
I did my research.
No, you're good. So those things you see me have in my mouth are nicotine things. So unfortunately, but
okay.
I stopped smoking at 18 years old because day after basketball practice, I coughed into my hand. And I coughed up a bunch of tar, and I thought I was bleeding internally. So I went and got checked out.
What were you smoking?
Cigarettes.
Whoa.
What kind of cigarettes?
I was smoking Cowboy Killers, Marlboro Reds.
Oh, okay.
I never heard that.
No, you're fine.
And you were so young to have that effect on you so soon.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I grew up too early. I was always, since my parents were divorced, I was around adults a lot. So I grew up a lot earlier than I had to, first time I had sex, I was like 14, 15 years old and all that kind of stuff. I switched from cigarettes into vaping, worked at a vape company for a while, took pictures for vape companies like the juices and stuff, and they pay for that. And that ended up fucking up my lungs more. But just all that kind of stuff. It's just, I've had to take a step back because, I want to make sure I'm here as long as I can for her. And, when we have kiddos and stuff, I want to make sure that I am here.
Yeah.
My family has a thing of like diabetes and like cancers and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure I can be here as long as possible. I still have my vices, I definitely have my vices.
What age did you start smoking though?
I would probably say 14.
14.
I used to go up on people's porches and grab their packs of cigarettes and leave and like just run around.
Bad man.
Oh man, me and my buddies were little hood rats. We'd go around and just fuck shit. There's stories I can't tell on the podcast.
Do you remember how much you smoked a day?
Well, yeah, I think I was a kid, so I was around my parents most of the time. So, I'd find a pack of cigarettes, have those on me, and, I probably, like, I'm trying to think, like if I was walking to the bus or something like that, light one up, but it's just, for me, like, have you guys ever smoked cigarettes? You guys ever been? Okay, you're fine.
I don't like this. I don't like smoking.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
But I love me marijuana.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just builds up after a while. Most smokers get a smoker's cough. I'm sure you guys have heard of that, right?
Yeah, I got one. Yeah.
And basically what that is you hacking up what's in your lungs and everything. And for me, I was young, so I wasn't aware. I wasn't going to school to be a nurse or anything yet, so I wasn't perfectly aware of what all was going on. And like I said, I thought I was internally bleeding because there's just black tar in my hand. So I went and got that checked out, and I just stopped doing that and then switched to vaping because, back in 2017, 2018, that was all the craze. Like, you guys remember Juuls and all that stuff. That was a huge thing. And then I started working at a vape shop, and shout out to All Day Vape. Worked there for years and did all that stuff. It just, after a while, man, it's just my lungs couldn't take it. You got to think, smoking consistently, because like a vape, you can hit it anywhere at any time. So I would be sitting there on the couch just chiefing, just all day long.
And they said it's worse than cigarettes, right?
It's not good for you. So that's the thing, is like, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's good or bad for you.
Right.
In my opinion, it's oils still going into your body.
Right.
It's a foreign oil that is going into your lungs that your body cannot really, handle. Obviously, there's a bunch of people who have vaped for years, had no issues. This is just my anecdotal, is that how you say it? Experience. So for me, I've just had to stop because like what happened was on my, so I would like breathe and I'd feel a spot up here on my lung. And every time I would breathe in and I would feel it. And every time I'd exhale, it would hurt. So I went and got a pulmonary function test. So it's basically where they basically have you breathe into a tube and see how much air you can get in your lungs and how much you can blow out. Got x-rays done, and luckily there was nothing there, but I just looked at myself. I was like, I can't do this. I can't keep doing this to myself. And I actually did really good. I stopped vaping for like almost 2 years. And then I hit a vape, like, the hardest part is drinking. Like if I'm out with my buddies at the bar, nicotine just works so good with alcohol. It just does. So I did that for a while. I got back on the vapes for a little bit, and then I went on my bachelor party and I started feeling it again. So I just stopped, and then I switched to these things. So there's little nicotine pouches you can put in your lip. It's not tobacco or anything. It's not dip. I'm not like spitting. Have
you ever done dip?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I've tried the gambit, man. I'm very much like, I'm a guy who likes to experience a lot of things, maybe just once, so like, different kind of stuff like that.
Do you have an addictive personality?
I wouldn't say so, because I grew up in, like, some family members had drug issues and alcohol issues and stuff, and I saw what that did to them. I was never a guy who wanted to go, like, I've never been like, you know what? Heroin sounds amazing. Shoot
it up.
Yeah, like, I just want to go snort some heroin. No, no, for me, like, the marijuana talk kind of thing. I feel like if you really need much more than that, there's something else going on.
That's a fact.
Right. You know what I mean? Or like psychedelics. I've tried psychedelics in the past and stuff. It's just, I like to experience things because, the stuff that people try to tell you is bad can also open your mind to a different world.
Very true.
Not saying that
That's beautiful. Right
not saying you need drugs or anything to open up your mind. Travel, that opens up your mind. Meeting a new person, learning a new language, that's all stuff that helps your neural pathways put things together. I'm just, like I said, I'm just big in experiences. Like me and Shannon don't spend money on fancy clothes, fancy cars or anything. We go and do trips. That's like, I proposed to her on top of a mountain in Colorado.
Oh, beautiful. I love Colorado.
Beautiful spot.
It's gorgeous.
Loved it. But no, I'm just big on experiences and getting out there because, like I said, I don't have the religious belief. So I don't know what happens after this. So at the end of the day, all you can really take with you is your memories, not the dollar signs.
Are you spiritual?
As I've gotten older, I would say I hope there's something after we go. I don't say I believe, but also that makes me more, what's the word I'm looking for? More into making every day worth it, just getting out there, doing things. Like I said, went to the gym today. I worked a full day, coming and doing podcasts, and just like me and Shannon are busy all week long. Like we've been having times where we have 4 interviews in a week. I'm just very big on just getting out there and just getting involved. We were talking about Safe House before, getting out there and like, that's not like, I'm trying to think how to say this. it wasn't my demographic of people, but I'm glad I went because I'm not an artist. The night I went to was an art night, and it was interesting just to be in the back of the room and see how people talk and get involved and shake hands with people. You know, I love people. I just love getting out there.
You were you were a photographer at a point, or you still a photographer now?
So that's the thing. So I had like a little camera, I had my phone, and after I got out of the vaping and stuff, I stopped doing the photography. I wish I would continue because I'd be light years ahead of what I'm doing now.
Keep going, bro. Trust me.
Oh no, and
it's still here.
Oh, it is, and I love it because anytime I get to learn something new, it makes me super excited. It's something I can add to my repertoire. You just never know when an opportunity could pop up, and if you can be good at a bunch of things. You don't have to master everything, but just be good enough at certain things that can help you get into better places. Like I said, the podcast has helped me get into rooms I never thought I would get into and meet people I never thought I would meet, and it's opened my mind and getting involved with people. I absolutely, like I said, I've said it 10 times. I love it. I just absolutely love doing it.
But it's not also.
No, go ahead.
It's not only the podcast. I got to big you up as well, because if it's not you and your the way you're a conversationalist, I don't think people will care. Like those things are a big thing as well. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of like pat yourself on the back as well, like to say, look, they here because they appreciate what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
And I appreciate it. Like I said, for me, I don't want to ever have an ego. That's my biggest thing. Is I always want to be the same person I am at my core, and I try to do that as much as I possibly can. Like I say thank you to everybody. Like we were sitting here talking, like I was praising you guys. Like any opportunity that someone wants to give me, I appreciate that so freaking much, because there's times in my life no one gave a fuck about me. You know what I mean? Or not nobody, but people I was trying to get opportunities with, they didn't give a fuck what I had to say or what it was. And it's cool to build something yourself. Like what you guys are doing, like in podcasters, photographers, when you have an idea and you manifest it and create it, that is one of the most respectable things I can see, because you're trying something, and I just love it. It's so cool to see you creatives here in Jacksonville and to see what all is in Jacksonville. It's booming. It's getting bigger. This is going to be the new place.
I
believe as well. And I believe that as well.
And when we come on your podcast, I'll explain what actually started all this.
Yeah, no, like I said,
it's crazy.
What are we talking about? The 24th, right? Is when we're having you guys on? 25th?
I think it's 25th.
25th. That's what it is. 25th. Yeah, no, I'm excited to have you guys on. I'm excited to have you guys come sit on. We got some nice little reclining chairs.
I'm curious to how you're going to break it down, because he's a big talker. He's a big talker, and like me and her kind of like quiet out a little bit. So I'm curious to see how you actually break it down.
Oh no, I'm pretty good at that stuff. So I'm big on, like, when I ask a question, I have all three. I'm gonna have all three of you guys answer.
Okay.
And obviously, there'll be chatter and all that stuff. Right. But like, I'm pretty good at bringing it back, getting it, back to what we were talking about.
Right.
And it's something I've learned, because I'm very much, I could go off on a tangent really about anything you guys ask.
And that's a hard thing about podcasts, because like one thing about me is like when we do episodes, I ask for criticism. I don't ask for the praise. I'll be like, hey, tell me what you think about this one. And then you need somebody that's going to tell you the truth. Like, hey man, there's a lot of dead air. There's a lot of fluff.
You can ask Shannon. I've had to cut it back. I am very much a very truthful person. I've cut into people a couple times. I'm like, oh, I should not have said that. They were asking you a question. You didn't have to cut that deep into them. Yeah. But no, it's just, like I said, it's just getting involved and just talking to people. Like, none of us are going to be perfect. The day you think you're perfect is the day that you're going to fail.
Right.
You're going to keep working and just keep doing your thing. Like I said, like with me, my first one was on $10 mics. I was lucky enough that my parents were nice enough. Like I asked them, like, go half with me on Christmas for the Roadcaster, and I was lucky enough that they did that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man, I'm just very lucky that people are supportive. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, we don't have millions of downloads, none of that stuff, but the people who are there, I know want to listen.
Have you had your mom and dad on the podcast?
I have. I've had both of them. I've had my mom, my dad, my stepdad. Who else, Shannon? That's about it. Your sister. Your sister's been on the podcast. Friends. A bunch of my boys who I've known for years. Like I have a buddy, shout out to Nolan, who I've known since I was 5. And like we're still friends to this day. Hang out every weekend. Go golfing every weekend. And yeah, I just like I only talk to people who I'm interested in.
Right.
I get hit up all the time. Like there's guys who hit me up and they're just, like, go on their Instagram page and it's just them selling drugs.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? I'm like, there's nothing wrong.
I can make this key flip.
Like, that's cool that you're pushing a kilo, but what do you else got going on, going on in your life? And
wow, they really try to get arrested.
hey, there's nothing wrong with
We
it.
talked about self-snitching before we started.
Oh yeah. No, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with the lifestyle. It's just not for me.
Right.
Well, no.
It's wrong with the lifestyle if you're self-snitching.
Yeah,
And if you look at
It's a part of the game.
but also at the end,
No,
been
not
a part of the game.
self-snitching.
I'm about to say.
If somebody's going to snitch, you might as well snitch on yourself.
yeah. But I mean, at the,
That's even worse.
yeah, but like at the end of the day, man, I know life's hard, bro. Like I know it is. If you got 4 kids to feed and you got to do something, man, I can understand it. There's nothing wrong with it. Like in that sense.
Not gonna judge it.
No, because at the end of the day, like I was telling you guys with the basketball and like seeing people and seeing different circumstances, man, life is hard. But me and Shannon being out since moved out since I was 18 years old, like I've had to figure out ways to make money. There was like a year and a half that I was working 2 jobs, 7 days a week, 60 hours a week just to make ends meet. And at the end of the day, I respect hustle. You know, like it just because you may not be doing something that I appreciate doesn't mean, you know, it's not respectable, or, you know, the drug dealing is not a respectable thing, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I know the human condition is hard. People are trying to make their money and trying to get to where they want to be.
So what is a moment that you felt like you were in over your head with starting, or like it's the process of being having a podcast?
I wouldn't even say it was. So what I always tell people is when you have an idea, just do it. Start it. Just start it. You're not going to have everything figured out. You know, a lot of people will sit there and talk about like, oh, I want to do this, but what if this happens? What if this goes down? What if this is wrong? At the end of the day, you're never going to start. Just start it. You'll figure it out. You know, I've been very lucky where I've had people who have taught me things. I've had people who reach out. Shannon's helped me with things and just learning. So I would say for me, it's when I overschedule. Like when I do 5 or 4 interviews in a week, it's draining. You
got to edit all of that stuff.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing is I only put 1 out a week. So I put 1 out every single Monday. Me and Shannon have done 110 episodes now. We've only missed 1 week.
Wow.
And that was because of our wedding.
Let me ask you this.
Okay, well, you didn't miss it then.
How does it feel to be a journalist and almost you're a podcaster, but you're almost a journalist too?
I take pride in it. Anytime I can tell someone's story, help promote their business, help promote them in any way, shape, or form, I take a lot of pride in it. I run this like a tight ship. You know, Shannon knows if you go through my phone, you can see all the little dots on my calendar, and, you know, I show up on time. I make sure they're taken care of. I try to make it an experience for them and make them feel welcome. You know, I'm not a cold guy. Like when you walk in, I'm not just like,
Right.
Sizing them up.
you know,
Sit there.
well, yeah, no, because I want it to be a fun experience.
Right.
And, you know, I want to talk about some real shit. I want to get on there and, you know, learn your story, because I feel like a lot of times people are more willing to work with you, whether it's your business or you have a clothing brand or whatever it is. If they know your backstory, people are a lot more willing to, you know, spend their hard-earned money on it, because, you know, all you guys know, we all do here, it's a grind.
Yep.
You know, that 40-hour week, that shit's hard, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I was telling you, like I do pest control, dude. I'm out in people's houses, you know, doing all that stuff, and it's hard.
Thank you, because I literally, boy, you read my mind. All right, so I was just about to ask you that. What is the worst story you could tell from pest control?
Oh, you want to hear?
I've heard of a story before, and I want to see if it's kind of similar.
You probably heard it on my podcast. It's a sad story. It really is. I went to a house one day, and it was an old house, over 100 years old, and it was through a rental company. And I knock on the door, lady opens the door, 5 rats run away. I'm like, shit, this is not going to be good. I'm walking around, I'm doing my...
Gotta quit right there.
Oh no, trust me, it gets worse. So I'm doing my inspection, and it's an old house, and you guys know the old houses that have the outlets on the baseboard. Oh. Yeah. So I saw one was pushed out. I used my foot to push it back in, and all you see is a rat hand. I pushed it out.
Like I said, out.
Yeah. It's like, this is my home. I'm trying to get out. So that happens, and this makes me so fucking sad. Oh, trust me, there's more. Warning. This little girl walks up to me. Couldn't be more than 6 years old.
Living in the house?
Yeah. Couldn't be more than 6 years old. And her tips of her toes were eaten off by rats.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, like when I tell you, like tears in my eyes when she showed me that, I was like, what? So, yeah, there's my story.
What?
And this is in
Oh
Jacksonville?
my God.
Yeah, this is Jax.
Can you tell us what side of town?
I'm trying to remember. Like, you know, like Moncrief-ish area around there.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something, right? I literally And it's sad, like, because I thought about it yesterday, and I've been Ubering again, and I was over in the area, and there's about 4 blocks during the daytime. It's dark as fuck, like gloomy. The homes look like nobody should be living in them. And there's people living in these things.
I see it on a daily basis, man. But the one thing I will say, those people treat me a lot better than the people in the $1 million houses.
Oh yeah.
I'll say that any day of the week. People who are having harder times are more than happy to have a conversation with me. You know, like what we're doing now, having a conversation. When I walk into your home to do a treatment, I'm having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not always like a full conversation, but hey, how's your day? You know, where are you from? Let's, you know, as I'm doing, you know, because I'm a big dude. And most of the times whenever I go into someone's house, who do you think's home during the day?
Yeah.
A female. Yeah, female. So I always want to go in, be respectful. It's always yes, ma'am, yes, sir, you know, all that kind of stuff. And just talk about it, you know, just, you know, I'm not a therapist in any way, shape, or form, but, you know, say what's up and learn your story a little bit. And, you know, because you'll probably see me again.
Yeah.
And I just, it's one of those things.
So did you, I'm sorry.
No.
Did you go back to that home after that? Or could you say you have to repeat? You may have to repeat.
The rental company saw my notes and they actually reported it to Child Protective Services.
Okay, I wanted to ask that question, but I didn't want to be like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're good. I don't feel good about taking anybody's child from their home.
Yeah.
But
you saved their life.
It's not taking somebody.
No, I understand. No, like 100%. Like it is a good thing.
Yeah.
But also the foster system is hard, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But also that's even horrible. It's like it's like a catch-22. It's like, what do you do? Like this kid.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Oh yeah, man.
And your story just wow. I'm sorry.
You're good.
That is wow.
I told Shannon that story, and that story will stick with me for the rest of my life. Because
that's gonna stick for me, and I didn't see it.
No, you're good, man. Like
insane.
that's why I'm so big on people appreciate what you have. You know,
Absolutely.
like me and Shannon are lucky enough that we have food. You know, we have a shelter over our head. We work our asses off to get where we want to be. But there's also times, like I was telling you, where I was working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. You know, it's a hard world out there, man. And at the end of the day, I'm just thankful for what I have.
Absolutely.
And that's why I try to give back is for that specific reason. There's people out there who don't have shit. They barely have a floor, you know, and that's the main thing. And, you know, it's hard out there in the world.
Homelessness in Jacksonville has gone even worse. Yeah. It went from the one red tent to all of the tents downtown now. It's like, and it's crazy. I don't think I ever spoke about this on the podcast. And maybe she not, but me and my lady she's gone to the store and taken $30 that we fed 50 people. Don't put it on camera, nothing. We literally, and you just make sandwiches and bring stuff. And it's just like, and it's just heartbreaking because we didn't have anything.
Right.
But it was just like, yo, we got more than they do. You see what I'm saying?
It takes nothing to make someone's day, man.
And it made
really
so many people's day. Like, and it made like just to see, like, you know what I mean? That you got to eat today.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a hard world out there, man. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm thankful to have what we have.
Right.
And, you know, like I have a quote. We got interviewed by a magazine a little while ago. And a quote I say is, you know, go start a conversation with someone you don't know. You never know where that will take you.
I was about to tell you that.
I need to work on that.
Yeah,
That's not my strong point at all.
What is?
Like meeting, like walking up to somebody and starting a conversation.
Oh, you're good.
I'm no good at that.
To be honest, I have 3 questions I ask people, and they're guaranteed to start a conversation with you. Where are you from? What do you do? You know, what's my 3rd one? I'm trying to think of what else there was. But like those questions there, people who don't get to talk to people all the time, or, you know, they're stressed, they're going through stuff in life. It's sometimes that makes their day, just having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
You know, because there's people out there who feel like they're not seen, they're not heard, they're not this, you know, and that's how I felt when I was younger. And that's probably part of the reason why I started the podcast, is that for me to have a voice. And it's, like I said, it's amazing when I get to learn some people's stories. You
Absolutely.
know, it's really cool to, you know, there's people, I have a story for you. I went to a house, this was about 2 weeks ago, and I went to a house to treat for like ants and stuff. And the family was from the country of Jordan. And I did the treatment, and they're like, please sit down, have a cup of tea with us. And at first I was hesitant because, you know, unfortunately that's me thinking like, you know, maybe they put something in there, blah, 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 blah. And that's me thinking like, that's me being shitty. And I was like, sure, I'll sit down. And I got to learn their story about their dad, you know, coming from Jordan, going to school in the UK, coming to, you know, the United States at Berkeley in California, and being able to make enough money to get his family over here to have a better life. And, we talked about what they believe in. They asked me what I believe in. And I believe I took a lot from that. And it was just from saying yes to having a conversation, having a cup of tea. And, they live a different lifestyle. Like the wife does certain things, the husband does certain things. And, with me, I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to, if I'm talking to the wife, I don't know if that's disrespectful,
right.
Or, like all that kind of stuff. So I was just trying to be very respectful, and they were very warm and welcoming. And I'm 100% glad I did it. Like I told Shannon, I literally texted her right after it. Like it warmed my heart, my day. And just for people to take the time to sit down and talk with me who don't even know me.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing conversation. I enjoyed every bit of it.
You all have that same story, because you've given me those stories as well. Because y'all are in the field all the way. I'm on Navy ships all day, so I'm around a bunch of assholes. So, but y'all are in the field.
Even his childhood, it sounds very similar to mine.
Yeah,
and I
you have a lot in common.
I love the fact that you even called out your negative thought, your initial thought of resisting at first, because honestly, I do see safety being an issue off the rip, but the fact that you were able to shift your mindset, because some people get stuck and they're not able to call themselves out like that. So
for a woman, it's a little bit different as well. Like, I'm sure if you were with him in the house, I'm like, I don't think I should. I'm like,
I'm happy every day to be a dude, not gonna lie.
Because women have it way different.
100%.
Like,
you guys have to deal with a monthly thing, and then if you guys,
I don't want it.
No, I don't want it. and if you all get pregnant, you're the ones pushing that thing out of your body.
Right.
Which all power to y'all. Like I said,
I told my girl, I said,
imagine.
if I had to have a baby, trust me, I would be the most manliest woman of all times. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful thing watching a woman give birth.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm so excited. Like that's something when me and her first started dating, I told her, I'm like, these are my goals. I want to have a kid. I want to get a house. I want to do this. Is this something you're interested in? And I was like, it's fine if you're not, because I'm looking for something serious. And if you're not, we'll figure it out. You go do your thing. Maybe it won't turn into a thing. And she didn't even blink an eye and she said, yeah, I'm down.
Oh, you gonna cry?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
no,
you gonna cry.
Oh, dude, I cried at our wedding. All that stuff. Oh, I'm a very emotional guy. I will not sit here and say I've never cried. I'm a very emotional.
I'm just saying, because my firstborn, I cried like.
Oh,
I got pictures and everything. I cried like a boohoo baby.
Well, for me, man, it'll just be so amazing to have something that's mine. There's nothing in this world that is literally your DNA. That is your person. That is your homie. That is your friend.
And the person that you love.
Yeah, like
conjoined in one.
Well, I wouldn't agree with the friend part. My son didn't become my friend until my son is 21 this year, so he just became my friend.
Well, no, so that's a real true thing. Like, I remember whenever I was like 17 and 18, and like you think of your parents as superheroes. They never do nothing wrong. They know everything. And as I got older, I started seeing them as people. And that's what kind of helped me rebuild our relationship as a family. I talked about shit that they did that was fucked up. They talked to me about what I did was fucked up, and we've bonded over that, and it's made life a lot easier because I see them as people. They're not just my caregivers or whatever it is.
They were trying to figure it out themselves.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, my mom had me when she was 27 years old. Shannon's 26. I still feel like I'm a child.
Oh, damn. So, well, that feel crazy. My first child I had when I was 17.
Oh, shit, for real?
I'm only 38. I have a 1-year-old grandchild and everything.
What?
Yeah.
You're the oldest of how many?
So I have a half brother through my mom and my stepfather. Shout out to Seth. He is 14. He's 14 right now. He's 10 years.
You got a young brother.
Yeah, he's 10 years younger than me. So I think so. The parents divorced. My mom ended up remarrying a couple of years later, like a long time later. And then, they were dealing with me. And then they decided to do you want to do this again? And they're like, sure. And they had my brother, Seth. So they had him when I was 10 years old. I remember I had pictures of holding him as a baby.
Wait, come back. Your mom and dad got...
My mom and my stepfather.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Todd.
Okay.
Shout out to Todd.
Well, no, and that's another big thing as well. I respect about my stepfather. Being a man that steps in. Like I said, my dad was always present. That's one thing I would never say about my father. He was always present. He took care of me, none of that. But him finding the way to be in the mix, because it's hard. There's a new man in my life, and my dad wants to make sure he's raising me a certain way, and blah 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 blah. And that was a big point of contention now. But one of the most beautiful things that really chokes me up is at our wedding. seeing my family, like my mom, my dad talking, laughing, you know, my stepfather, my dad talking, laughing, and being cool with each other and being able to put things to the side is an amazing thing.
That's
and
dope.
there's nothing more I could ask for. You know, it's super cool that I have that now, because life was not like that for a long time. So I'm very proud that we have a family unit and we do really well. And also I have a stepmother as well. Shout out to Karen. You know, she's great as well.
You got a real Karen. I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm joking. I had to make that joke.
We give, whenever she's yelling at me, I give her that joke. I'm like, you're being a Karen. But no, like I said, it's just, I'm very lucky. That's the main thing I tell people. You know, like I have to take back, and like whenever I have a bad day, like today I was working my ass off. I was out in the rain all day with this weather that we had going on. I got soaked in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
But
I was out there too.
Yeah, just taking the time, because what freaks me out as I've gotten older is how fast time goes.
Oh, it's moving so fast.
Well, from 18 to where I am now, feels like a snap of a finger.
When people told you that when you were in high school, did you believe them? You didn't believe them, right? I didn't either.
Because a year, like in school, felt like
so long.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'd be sitting there, I'm like, when is this gonna end?
Right.
I remember being in bed like, I can't wait till I ain't got to wake up at 6 in the morning.
Now you're waking up earlier.
No, but it's just it's a crazy thing, and that's why I try to make every day matter. Try to do something, you know, like whether it's me and Shannon just hanging out at the end of the day. You know, we could just be sitting there looking at our phones, but we're sitting there spending time together on the couch, holding hands while I'm gonna have my phone in the other hand or whatever it is. It's just, the human experience is weird, and that's something I've had to come like figure out. Is I have anxiety about not being here anymore, not knowing what's next, and that's why I'm trying to figure things out. Obviously, just like we all are.
Absolutely.
You know?
I'm right there with you. We literally just talked about this on another podcast. Like, I have a lot of morbid thoughts.
Same, 100%.
Like a lot, and this is what keeps me going. If I'm not at my computer, bro, my brain is everywhere.
That's what working out is for me.
Like I haven't got to a point where it's like I want to leave this earth, but I don't want to leave this earth. And it's like I know I can't. I want to live forever.
But
and it's like, why am I so selfish like this to think that? But it's like,
here's another way of looking at that, though. So I look at it as my podcast is an audio diary. Say if I die, my kids will be able to hear years, you know, whenever I was 20 years old or 21, I forgot how old I was when I started, or I guess it must have been 22. You know, if I'm not here one day, they can still hear, you know, hundreds of episodes of what their dad was thinking at 21 years old, 22 years old, the struggles, you know, what I was thinking, and talking through depression and all that stuff, because I don't want anybody to ever feel alone. The world is, you know, a lot of people think that they're the only one with a mental illness or they're the only one who's going through things, man.
Not at all.
And at the end of the day, we all are. We're all just trying to keep it together.
We're all connected in this world.
Everybody.
That's why I tell people we're always connected. Don't ever feel like just because I say this shit to anybody that's listening to me right now. Don't ever feel like you're alone because of your struggle. Because you might be like, damn, you're going through it right now. Somebody else went through it. And one day in life, you're going to connect with that person that went through it, and you're going to meet the younger you, and you're going to try to school them, and they might be hard-headed. But you're going to be like, look, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen.
But you leave that nugget, though.
And then they're going to be like, damn, man, you were like, you was like sensei when you was saying that shit.
Well, that's the thing is, like with my brother, I'm watching him go through similar situations that I went through in high school, the teenage angst, talking to girls, all this other stuff. And I tell him, I'm like, man, you're going to look back. You're going to look back. You know, like I remember thinking like my hair was fucked up or my shirt was wrinkled. And that
insecurities and shit.
You know, like I was used to be a little heavier. Like I was 230 pounds when I first came into high school. So I was a little bit of a bigger guy. And it's just, like I said, I wouldn't go back into high school personally. These are the teenage angst and everything.
Absolutely not.
But like what you brought about not being on this earth anymore, I think about a lot is, if I wasn't on this earth anymore, I would never have the chance to meet Shannon. I would never have the chance to get married. I would never have the chance to see my parents be able to grow and be cool together. And I would have missed a lot. And I feel like it's selfish because whenever you take yourself out, you're not just taking yourself out. You're messing up everybody that's in your web.
It's the whole ecosystem.
Like you think you don't matter at that moment, but when in reality, you matter so much to people, man. Like that's my big thing. Is like even if it's just one person cares about you, that's one person. You know,
and it could destroy them.
Man. Like if Shannon did that, I would not know what to do with myself. I would probably do the same thing.
It's like those old couples. I think I don't know if it was one of y'all telling me the story, but it was like a couple where they made a pact, like if I go, you go, type of thing. oh, y'all did that. And literally, they died like the husband or whatever died the next day or like the 2 days later. Like they couldn't handle it. It was just like, that's it.
I got a funny story for that. I told Shannon if I ever die before her, she has to smoke me.
She has
Want some Tupac shit.
She has to roll me in a blunt. And
you would do it?
You deal with?
And you would do it?
and it's a specific area.
So you 50-50 right now. You 50-50. She 50-50. She like,
we pinky swore on it. You cannot break the pinky swear.
oh yeah, you can't break the pinky swear. You can't break the pinky swear.
Just a drizzle, nah.
Just a drizzle.
Just a drizzle.
You got a real one.
Oh yeah.
You definitely got a real one.
Yeah, don't let that
No,
one
you
go.
definitely got a real
No,
one.
man. Like
You
I
got
said,
a solid one.
Definitely. To actually say, yeah, I'm cool with that. Hey. Listen, my woman tell me she won't smoke. I'm like, you smoking dust. Like you.
nah. Like I said, I'm very lucky.
No,
with,
that's like y'all are intertwined all the way to through and through.
No, we are, man. Like I said, I'm very lucky to have her family's, accepted me into her family. And, like I said, it's just, there's nothing more I could ask for. I wouldn't know where I would be at this age right now if I didn't have, my best friend, my confidant, anything. I could tell her anything.
That's
And who
beautiful.
says 5 guys don't bring people together?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
And I want to do a troubleshoot with you after listening to your story. So with our podcast, what we try to do is we try to solve problems.
Okay.
And listening to your story, only thing I'm hearing is like you pulled yourself out of the darkness.
I wouldn't say it's just me. That's the main thing I would say. I was helped a lot, but it does take motivation to get yourself out of a situation that you could be in.
So before I get into the troubleshoot, because what we're going to troubleshoot is basically asking for help.
Yeah.
That's because that's a hard thing to do.
Of course.
I'm very prideful.
I'm super
still
proud of
struggling
you.
Yeah,
with that,
and one thing I always say when I ask for help is I don't want somebody coming back later when I'm like doing my thing and being like, you wouldn't have been nothing if I would have helped you, because I'm like, then that wasn't genuine.
No, that's not helping people. That's doing a favor and respect and expecting something back. I hate that shit.
Right, but a lot of people do that. Like, and when they do it, they wait till you accomplish something to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like when you're down and when you're below them, they're like, oh yeah, I can help you out. You're not nothing right now. But I actually want to take one of your questions and flip it on you. What do you think? How would you define success?
Oh, I like that. Now that you're flipping the question. So when it comes to success, it can mean many things. Some people it's money. Some people it's relationships. Some people it's the house that they have, the car that they drive. My success is through my relationships. I would say that 100%. I would be nothing without my friends, my family, all these people that have helped supported me and kept me going. I'm very successful in that point of view. Like, I'm not a millionaire in any way, shape, or form at all. I work my ass off, and at the end of the day, that gives me pride. But also, I would not be here without the help that people have given me. Like I said, when it comes to success, I would say I'm super successful. I'm very lucky. I've had things bounce my way that should not have bounced my way. I've had situations where I should not be here, sitting here with you guys to this day. And that's what I would say is still being here to this day is a success.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was dope right there. That was dope.
Was that a bar?
Hey, that was dope. That was dope.
No. Yeah, not love.
Speaking of bars, did you think J. Cole did what he did? You think it was okay?
Yeah, how you feel
think
about
he
that?
should have responded or?
So I missed the beefs. Like, you remember when it was Drake and not J. Cole, what was his name?
Meek Mill?
Yeah, Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Those were the most fire tracks when they were going back and forth because I knew like the situation. Like, I'd be playing that at Five Guys. I'm like, oh shit. He said what? You know what I mean?
See, I wasn't into the Drake and Meek Mill.
I
mean, it was more one-sided. It was more Drake beating his ass.
I felt like it was commercial. I felt like it was commercial. See, I like the Nas and Jay-Z.
No, that's fine. If anything, I know from listening to me, you guys wouldn't think this. I was a huge Kodak fan. Kodak Black, like I was telling you guys before, my senior quote was one of his quotes. Is they only see the shine, not the grind.
But that's a Florida thing, and then around your age, that's a good thing though, because when I came to Florida in 2015 or 16, and that's when I heard about Kodak Black.
Yeah, Kodak.
And I thought it was, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry, y'all, but I thought it was Project Pat because he kept saying Project Baby, and I'm like, it's only one Project Baby, that's Project Pat, and he kept saying it, but they speed the music up down in Miami. That's when I first heard it, and they kept like, the whiskey, I'm like, what the hell is this?
But I listened to so much.
What's your favorite Kodak song?
Favorite Kodak song? Too Many Years.
Too many years. Way too many years.
Or no, it's shit. I'm trying to think.
Oh man, you don't know? You forgot it?
Yeah, Too Many Years. Yeah, no.
with PB Rock.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm also a big Speaker Knockers fan as well.
It's the Speaker Knockers. Yeah. Okay.
My favorite Kodak song is Skirt.
Oh, skirt.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to be whipping home, and I would listen to that song after Five Guys.
Oh, no, mine is something deep bait. Beat. I forgot how I go. I don't know. I don't know how I go, but it's like something like something in my piece, something in the deep, something deep bait.
But
I don't know. I don't know how is it. I just don't just go like that.
What about you, Katie?
I don't listen to much of him.
No, you're fine.
But the only time that I kind of like, he got that shit on.
Right.
Is I got
I did a little more.
Okay, yeah. No
Flock.
I was about to say there's no flock.
He said he don't like performing that song.
Yeah,
Because he said he was joking about that song.
He's a weirdo in general, bro.
Yeah, he was
But
like.
he looks healthy now. I think he got sober.
I think the last time I seen him, he didn't look so
No,
good.
they just showed a picture of him.
All right, so let me tell y'all something. Think about this. At y'all age, big age right y'all at right now. Imagine being 16, 17, 18 years old and you getting 20, 30, 40, $100 million to play with. Think about that.
I'd be an addict too.
I would fuck shit up. Me at 18, bruh. Let me tell you something. I would have been dead with $20 million.
No,
I would have did everything and anything I wanted to do.
No, 100%. But that's the thing is with me, like I grew up with so many different kinds of people in my life. I've listened to a mix of stuff, like Marvin Gaye, who else, I've listened to, like, I'm also big into like rock. I love like Hinder. I also like Nirvana, also I'm big into country music. He's like, for me, it's
shout out to Beyonce.
Oh God.
I don't know if I'd call that country.
Thank you.
The old Taylor Swift.
No, not even that. No, like just for me, like anything that like can evoke an emotion out of me is what I listen to. I'm not trying to hear about ass and hoes and money and blah 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 blah. Like that's great. Like no, like it's good for situations. Like if I'm at a party and you're trying to get it hyped up, that's great. But if I'm in my car, I'm probably listening to some sappy shit. To be 100% honest with you, I'm listening to people going through life, all that stuff, and that's more my style. You can ask Shannon. Like she'll hear my music. Like it's completely different than what she listens to.
Let me ask you something. Are you a Tupac fan?
I don't dislike Tupac. Yeah,
I think you would really gravitate towards him because like he says real shit.
No, he does, and so does Biggie Smalls. Like Biggie Smalls, all of them. It's a little bit outside of my age range.
You had to beat it. You had to be around at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I grew up on Pac and Biggie. Like those was my big. But speaking, we talk about something music. If you had to pick one song to describe you, if somebody say, "Hey, that's what it is," what would it be?
Dang, that's a good question.
I feel like everybody should answer that.
Yeah, I think everybody should answer that as well.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think. "Son of a Sinner" by Jelly Roll.
What lyric? What
The whole song, man. Like I said, he talks about like he, his backstory is also what speaks to me about, being young, fucking up, getting in trouble, seeing stuff, and then getting into a position where he's like, I don't want to live this life. Like, what am I doing with myself? And his story of being 38 or 30s when he actually made it.
Yes.
Because I remember, like, do you guys know who Little White is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's who he came up with, was Little White. Yeah,
from 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so Jelly Roll was originally a rapper. He was big into rapping, and it wasn't working for him.
Jelly Roll was a freaking rapper. You are so right.
Who is
He
Jelly
did a
Roll?
song. He did a song with Paul Wall.
Here, I'll show you a picture of Jelly Roll.
You were so right. I didn't even notice he was a singer. I'll rap at first.
White and then some Jelly Roll.
No, he just reminded me. Yes, you were
And
so
I know
right.
Little White. Yeah, so
Lil White is the shit.
yeah,
That's my shit. Boy, I'm a huge 3 6 fan.
Oh yeah, and then but no, I would say that because the story of like, you know, he talks about he shouldn't be here anymore. You know, like he grew up in a fucked up situation, made himself and got him out there, and I respect that. That's the thing is like whenever I know this, like what we were talking about, you know, the story behind people in the podcast.
Yeah,
like I've heard him on podcasts a bunch of times and listened to his story, and like it makes the music that much better when I know what he's talking about.
Right.
You know, like talking about making it through the struggles, drug addiction, going to jail, you know, losing his children for a little while because of that, and then getting his children back. Like I said, I'm a huge Jelly Roll fan, but like I said, that's just something I would probably more say is just, you know, going through that is what I would probably say be my song, just because that's the first one I could think off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of genres that I can put myself into, and I'm like, like, that's me.
that describes
Jelly
you.
Roll or something?
Yeah. What's y'all? What are y'all?
Yeah, what do you guys got?
What you?
Two come to mind. So the first one is Yolanda Adams, In the Midst of It All. Okay. Hits deep. And then the other one is Fantasia, I believe.
Ooh,
okay.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, that
Our Patty. That's our Patty for this version.
Go ahead, because I got
okay.
2 songs.
So I have 2. One is by The Fray, called Vienna.
The Fray. I haven't heard that in a minute.
There's really no way to reach me. I love that song. Oh my God, that's like my other part of me. And then the other part of me is CeeLo, Robin Williams. When I tell you, like, I cannot listen to that song without crying, bro. Like I was on the road the other day and like I was coming to tears, like riding down the street. Like it was.
That's the best music you listen to, man.
Robin Williams, CeeLo. If y'all get a chance to listen to that, if y'all like, do y'all like just the concept of Robin Williams being the guy that made everyone laugh but couldn't make himself laugh,
and ended up. What like somebody told me when I was young is like it's usually the people with the biggest smile that are going through the hardest things.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's real.
Absolutely.
That's real.
What about you, my man?
All right, so for me, I got 3 because like
you
got
a bunch off the head.
All right. So for life, like to describe me, Tupac is gonna be Unborn Child.
Okay.
Because like he's just explaining it. So for relationships, it's gonna be John Mayer. Slow Dancing in a Burning Room.
Oh, that's a beautiful song. I know what you're talking about. I love that song.
That's just to describe like a song that brought tears to my eyes every time it comes on. Eminem, Headlights.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like me and my mother.
How did that one go?
I love Eminem, bro.
Yeah.
I grew up listening. I love me some fucking Eminem.
What's your favorite Eminem verse?
Oh,
when I was just a little baby boy, my mama used to tell me these crazy things. She used to tell me my daddy was an evil man. That's my shit. I'm sorry.
You know that song too? Okay.
No, you're good. Like I'm trying to think. There's so many good songs. Like Till I Collapse was awesome. Let me look up the song real quick.
I can't choke no whore.
We used to come out to that song during football season, so I hate it.
Yo,
I hate to all my
after Eminem, everything went fucking soft. Everything. Think about it. Eminem was the last rapper to really like go in, like and like just talk about everybody. Like fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I don't give a damn about your sexuality. I don't care. But like he was the only one. He was the
Yeah,
last one.
Eminem's that fucking guy.
Another good one that I love is Love the Way You Lie with Rihanna.
That's
a banger, bro. I love that song.
Tell me how ugly I am, but you'll always love me. Eminem is a great lyricist.
What?
Like when people start talking all the colorist shit, I'm like, bro, Eminem is fucking amazing. Bro.
None of that.
Like and then when I watch 8 Mile, bro, I'm like, that's just fucking phenomenal.
See, I ain't gonna say I'm about 8 Mile, but I would say
8 Mile. 8 Mile was a classic in my house.
It's a solid movie.
It is okay. I'll see better about.
You don't like 8 Mile?
It's okay. It's not great. It's okay.
Wow.
I feel like it was relatable. I feel like it was something that really like touched you because it's like, damn. Okay.
He was going through it.
The last scene was great. And in the scene when they was in the trailer park when he was fighting his stepfather. You
don't like whenever he was battle rapping, bro, and he like the first he's throwing up and then he starts getting it and he starts going in on them boys.
So now all right, being that I'm a fan of battle rap, it's like that was like it was mediocre. You know what I'm saying?
Like
now the last battle when he did all that and like switching on himself.
I saw it over there.
And he switched it on himself. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Like that was really cool. What the heck happened to those lights? They got time on it? Okay, that's different. We never had that before.
You guys are good. We got light up. No, but like I said, music is one of those things that I've always listened to. I love just good music in general. The song that me and Shannon danced to at our wedding. Oh, one second. It's a Lee Bryce song. I Don't Dance.
Libra, I don't think I've heard
You're
that.
fine. Libra is so it's like, I don't dance, but here I am, like spinning you round and round in circles.
Okay.
For me,
What came in my head?
What's that?
Oh God.
I'm embarrassed. High School Musical.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Which one?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I was like, really? High School Musical?
No, you're good.
All right.
No, I'm just big into all that stuff. I love things that make me feel good.
Let's get into this troubleshoot, man.
Yeah.
I love this fucking conversation, man. You
Yeah.
got a story on
Really
you, bro.
good.
Yes, you
There's
do.
a
Yes,
lot
you
more
do.
questions we have.
Hell
If we go
yeah.
ahead and do this,
I
definitely
had to
second.
close it because I'm like, all right, we talking.
You
Yeah.
guys can ask me more, anything you want. Like I said, I'm willing to answer anything you guys got. It's really however much time you guys want to do.
Right now, we just talked about we try to get 2 hours only.
Yeah.
We got to start cutting back.
You guys are good. Like I said, it's no problem at all.
That'll work.
But
Yeah.
let's get into the troubleshoot real quick because I really enjoyed your story, and what I took away from your story is like you, like I said at first, you pulled yourself out of darkness. You may not say like I pulled myself out, but you did, because even if you had help, it was initially you. You can have all the help. You can bring water to somebody, they're not going to drink it. But they say you can bring water to a horse, but you can't make it drink. So like the fact that you even accepted help, you put your pride to the side, and then you recognize you did self-inventory. You pulled yourself out that hump. You know what I'm saying? And to even recognize and say out loud that I battled depression, that's a big thing. Because a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I battled depression, and then they be, it's like that's a real thing. And depression, it can stick with you forever.
Or they don't know that they're in a depression, because I've been there.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know I was depressed until I was out of the depression.
Oh, dude, like I said, for me with the depression stuff, it's most random shit. You know, so one day I wake up, and for the way I describe depression is like someone is behind you, that's darkness, giving you a hug.
Right. And it's like every time you get happy, it's only momentarily.
See, that's the thing though, is it's not always momentarily. For me, like with my depression stuff, it'll be a couple days, and I'll tell Shannon, I'm like, hey, I'm feeling this right now. It's not your fault. It's not you. It's not anybody. It's just how I'm feeling right now. And like, if I act a certain way, I'm not trying to be rude to you. Or if I'm being quiet, it's not your fault.
And that helps a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've been there, and I'm like, I've tried to explain to someone, hey, can you let me know when this is, so I know how to maneuver around.
Well, originally I wasn't like that with her, and then I started sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, that's unfair.
Yeah.
That's super unfair, because it's not her fault. So why is she getting the brunt of it, you know? And that's why I'm big on talking about it, because if I don't talk about it, that's when it bundles up, I push it down, and then I explode. It's better to talk about it and say, hey, I'm not in a good spot right now. This is just what I'm dealing with right now. Don't know why. It's just one of those things, like I'll wake up one day and I'm having issues, and then 2 days later I wake up and it feels like the weight is off my shoulders. It's really weird.
So on this segment, I want to ask you, how would you troubleshoot? I don't want to know if I want to say depression, because how would you troubleshoot depression, man? What advice would you give to somebody listening to this that's like, man, like I'm going through a fucked up time. I'm having suicidal thoughts. Even shit's just not working, and I feel like the place would be a lot better if I wasn't here. What would you say? What was your troubleshoot? And when you say it, if you can end it with, "This is my troubleshoot."
Okay.
All right.
So the way I would say it is to always remember you're not alone. You're not the first person, and you're not going to be the last person that deals with this. The main thing I would say is it's momentary. You live a lot of days in your life, if you're lucky. If you take the time to self-evaluate, maybe it was a situation that you were having issues with and you didn't know it was going to manifest into depression, I would always say just take a second, look around and what you have. If you have 4 walls around you, you have food in that fridge, you have people who talk to you, that's your biggest thing right there. And also, like as we've kind of said throughout the podcast, ask for help. If you are having an issue, it doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you less of a person if you go and ask for help, whether it's through therapy or talking to your family, talking to your girlfriend, your husband, whatever it is. I would say just go talk to someone, get involved. And for me, the way I help troubleshoot my depression is working. I do work a lot, but I also do take time to do things on my own, like with me and Shannon, try to go do date nights, or it's been a little while since we've done a date night recently, but go on trips. I was telling you about my buddies. I go golfing every Saturday. day. And that's a huge thing for me. It helps me go do something, not think about the pressure of other stuff, and just get out there. And I'm sorry, how do I end it? What'd you say again?
This is my troubleshoot.
Yeah. So I would say the big thing you can take away from this is ask for help if you're going through issues. If you feel like you don't trust a therapist, talk to someone who you think is the closest person to you that you can trust with those feelings. And this is my troubleshoot.
All right. KD, you got anything for that?
So outside of asking for help, which is a huge one, I would say is get out of your routine. And I know for me, I don't call it depression, I call it downers. And that's probably me just being in denial. But I have my moments where I'm like going through a downer. And I realize like I can lay on my couch for hours and let the day turn from light to night. And that will get me stuck. And I would suggest going out into the sun, go lay a blanket and literally stare up at the clouds. And knowing what your sense of peace is. I know for me, I'm a water girl. So whenever I'm feeling these moments, I'll go sit by the water. If it's in Riverside, if it's at the beach, like I know that those things tend to calm me and bring me back to reality and grounds me. So knowing what it is that grounds you so that when you do feel those moments, you can turn to that, because it isn't always easy talking to people, especially when you are on social media and you see, you know, everybody else's life living the way that they're living. And you're like, well, why the fuck mine don't look like that? Like, it's so easy to compare and get stuck in that. So physically go get some sun, you know, like fill your body with the things that it needs and let your body work for you. And this is my troubleshoot.
No, I like that a lot. And what you see on Instagram, Facebook, and all that shit is not real life. Don't let that take you down.
It's a highlight reel. You see, I'm gonna let you go this time because we've been giving you the last one. And the last spot's the hardest one, so I'm gonna take the last spot.
I think they pretty much hit the nail on the head, man.
You know, you can't back out the troubleshoot, buddy.
No, I mean, I'm not backing out. It's just pretty much. I mean, what they said is just right on the head, because it's. Like I said, for me, I didn't even know I was even in a depression mode when I was in a depression mode. And I'm like you, Colin, where I'm always working.
What's my name?
Connor.
I'm Connor. I'm sorry.
I'm just messing. I'm 100% just messing with you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
What's my name?
So for me, like it's hard for me to like give somebody else advice, because I've been told that me working too much is too bad, and I think it's great because it keeps me from thinking about the morbid stuff. So
it's a scapegoat.
It's a scapegoat.
Yeah, it can be, because like you're not dealing with the problems on firsthand.
Well, no, I deal with my problems, right? But if they're still there, I'm not going to dwell on them. So I have to do something to get away. Like, let's say we know we got bills. So it's like those bills are not going to stop. The next month is going to be the same bills and the same bills and the same bills. It's like, so why, I'm not going to sit here and be stressed out because I can't pay this bill right here at this time. Let me go over here and go do my photo walk, or let me go, you know, come on a podcast, or go sit in my computer and start editing, or, you know, go out and
But you know what you're saying?
What?
Let me be creative.
Yeah, that's my way of dealing with depression or anything like that. Because like I said, I don't know when I'm in it.
Find a high.
And I don't know if that's everybody, but I just don't know how to distinguish when I am and when I'm not. And
You gotta find your patterns.
Yeah.
It takes time, man.
Yeah.
Like with me, this has been since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm nowhere near professional at this stuff. It's just learning, you know what I mean? Learning your feels. And like, I like what you said as well, as breaking your habits. That's a big thing. You know, like if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, what's the saying? You know, if you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, it's insanity.
And it's funny because me and Nico just had this conversation about these things. Because
Can you finish your troubleshoot?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that.
You don't got troubleshoot?
No, I'm saying like even talking to other people about what you're going through. It's like, hey, yo, I'm going through this, and the third. Because somebody else they may have that ear just so you can listen to, or they might have that advice to be like, hey, bro, you know, if you go this way, or if just think about it for a second, or just go in the corner and just go pray for a second, or go, you know, take a breather, or you know what I mean? So that's my troubleshoot.
I like it.
All right, so for me, if I was to give somebody a troubleshooting advice, I would tell them, find what makes them happy. and find who makes them happy. If nobody makes you happy, then I would tell you, like you said, I hate to piggyback on you because I know that's our rule. We don't piggyback. Be creative. Right? Actually find something to express yourself, because you might pick up a notebook and you might just write out your feelings, and hour later you might come back and be like, damn, like I didn't know I was good at writing. Like I really expressed what I'm feeling in the most creative way I could. So I would say find a hobby, because I know when I started thinking about creating the podcast, and before I brought on all my people that's with me today, I remember saying like, yo, what can I do? Because I feel emotions every day. Every day I feel emotions. Every day I'm trying to figure out something. Sometimes I'm like, yo, I can't. I get scared to ask people for help. But one thing I did was sit back and say, what could I do? And I got creative. And I started thinking. And I watched certain things that made me happy. So I would just say, find a way to be creative, get out your mind, you know what I'm saying? Express yourself. Expression is everything. That's my troubleshoot.
Period.
Yeah. So.
Period, poo.
No, that was solid, man. And like I said, I appreciate you guys being willing to talk about this stuff. You know, like I said, it's hard. You know, it all is hard. But like I said, you guys are doing great stuff. And like I said, I appreciate you guys letting me be on the podcast today. I thoroughly enjoyed.
I'm more of the guy, I guess the morbid guy, whatever the case may be, or like got all the crazy stuff. Because I'm older, like so I've kind of been through some foolishness and stuff like that, whatever. So it's like to have someone on the podcast that could be vulnerable, because I'm always vulnerable. Like I'll be telling some story, they be like, he's lying. I'm like, okay, all right, okay.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
We used to have listeners that always used to contact me.
They tell me I'm lying about stories, and I'm like, okay, great. So I won't give y'all no more stories. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's all good, man. Like I said, I'm one that subscribes to, you know, not reading the comments kind of thing. Obviously, if someone's trying to reach out and talk, that's cool. But, you know, at the end of the day, I put this out for me.
Yeah,
I don't always put it out for other people. That's the biggest thing. And you know, if there's people hating, it means you're doing something right.
Yeah, right. Yes. And same thing as I said. So that's why I love that you were able to come on and be vulnerable and open.
Absolutely.
And
I hope this isn't my only time.
No, definitely not. No, we have way more. Like, definitely way more.
Love to have you
I got hella questions. I was just we had a lot of talking going on. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna say this.
We're just trying to streamline it down more, because we got some people saying 3 hours because we could go. We'll go for 3.5, 4 hours.
No, you guys are good.
You know what I'm saying?
I have one more question. Is this your merch that you're wearing?
The hat is, so I am actually in the process of getting, this is only a one of one. I just happened to make it just so I could wear it around to places. But so far we got stickers, but shirts, hats, and other things are in the process, in the works. We're actually setting up our website. We're actually setting up our LLC as well. So we're doing a couple other things right now, just trying to get some stuff built up. It's just money was wrapped up with the wedding and other things. So now is a little bit more freedom of being able to put some stuff out there. And anytime you guys are a guest on the podcast, even though I might not have it in hand now, you guys will get a shirt.
Listen, we're right there with you, like vice versa, because that's where we're doing the same thing as well.
No, it's like what I want to do is do like a goodie bag. So like after someone's like about to leave, hand them a goodie bag. Yeah, man, it's just
you're right there the same. You gonna make it. Sorry,
hold on. Save it for his podcast.
No, I'm just saying he gonna make it. It hit my name. Oh shit.
I love the hat though.
Thank you.
Let me ask you something. What else can we expect from Connor Overbay?
Your kid. That's a good question, to be honest with you. You guys are going to continue hearing stories. We're going to continue telling people stories of Jacksonville, and I would like to branch out outside of Jacksonville sooner or later as well, as things keep growing and stuff. But I'm always going to be the same person. Yeah. That's the main thing I want people to always know, is like what you guys see on camera is me off camera. I'm not, some jackass off camera in any way, shape, or form. I'm very much cool. You know what I mean? And like I can sit there and do a podcast without microphones and just have a conversation with you. At the end of the day, that's my main goal, is just to put stories out there for people, and hopefully they can relate. And we got some big guests coming on soon. So we got some interesting stuff, including you guys.
And I want to say something to you. Keep going. Keep going, because I know it can get frustrating.
It does, but the thing is, I enjoy it, man. I was telling you guys, man, like getting that guest response, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to come on." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like, "Yes."
It's like us. You wanna?
What made, like, you asked an earlier question of when did I feel like it was starting to gain traction? It's when people started reaching out to me, and when I saw some of the caliber of people that were reaching out, I was like, "Really?" I was like, you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
And like it's just amazing. Like I could say, if anybody here in Jacksonville, if you guys listen to the podcast or anything, thank you guys so much. You know, I appreciate anytime I see a new comment or, you know, someone follows me and like they're like, hey, I saw you on the Who Are You and I really enjoyed your content and everything. That's the biggest compliment. Or if you leave a 5-star review, that's what
There we go. There you go.
But no, like I said to you guys, thank you guys again so much for your time. You guys were nothing but hospitable to me. And like I said, I had an amazing time. It was awesome to get to learn some more. And I'm excited to learn y'all's stories. I'm going to be getting deep on you guys.
I'm seriously wondering how you're going to do this because like, we are 3 different personalities.
You think you do your research? Just
I did my research. I got more questions right here. I was just like, all right, we built every conversation.
He got you on research too.
No, to be honest, like everything you did, man. Like I said, you were pulling back stories from years ago. Like I said, you did an amazing job. Everybody here did an amazing job. Like I said, this was more like I said, I looked forward to doing this today. You know, what I mean, I was hyped whenever I pulled up, a little butterflies in the stomach and everything. But like I said, I've sat here and enjoyed every moment with you guys. And like I said, if you guys aren't following them yet, give them a follow. Hit them up on the social media. And if you guys are from the Who Are You, let them know that the Who Are You is checking them out. I'm always interested when people we can cross pollinate and get involved and everything. Yeah. But this will definitely not be the last time, guys. I want to make more content. I want to get involved with you guys more, and I think it'd be an amazing opportunity.
Absolutely. Let me ask you something.
Yeah, what's up?
So you know we do skits. Mm-hmm. Would you ever?
I do a skit. I won't rap, but I'll skit.
I was like, you won't rap, but you skit.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, like public speaking, all that stuff, I've spoken in front of like hundreds of people or got on stage. I love that shit. I love that shit. Like, I love that kind of stuff. As long as I know what I need to do, that's when I can do it. If it's a little bit more off the cuff, whether it's conversation, that's fine. But if it's a little bit like the acting stuff where they're like, oh, ad lib this, I'm like, no.
You will be surprised.
Oh, I'm sure. And obviously if there's like a basis or like kind of like what we're looking for kind of thing, I'd be more than happy to come out there and get involved. And obviously, like we were talking about earlier, you guys know Broadway. Shout out to Broadway. Yeah. And like I said, just get involved, man. Like my biggest thing is I always take every opportunity I can. If I can physically be there, I'm gonna be there.
All our skits are improv.
I'm down. We'll figure it out.
So trust, and we have people that come in that's never acted a day in their life, and they shine.
Oh yeah, man. I'm goofy. I'm a little bit of a goofy dude. So
that makes me excited.
Yes, definitely. Because I would definitely write you in.
Oh yeah, anytime, guys.
Real quick.
Shoot me a message. I'll give you guys all my.
You acting? Oh.
You don't want to see what you got in there? You got a big old light in there. You don't want to shine?
That's my little beauty over there, girl.
Exactly.
They be checking you out on camera. But no, like I said, you guys are awesome. I greatly appreciate y'all's time. And like I said, you guys all have my phone number before I leave here and everything. Definitely. So you guys can message me anytime. If I can't make certain situations, it's just one of those things. But at the end of the day, we all going to kind of you guys will see me around.
Absolutely. We're connected now.
Oh, 100%. Anytime I do an interview, it's an open invitation anytime. Like I said, if you guys ever have new stuff coming up or you guys want to do promotions or anything like that, come check me out.
Yeah, this is our first collab with another podcast.
Hey, I like being the first collab.
You know what's crazy? It's the first podcast I think we talked to at the seminar. I know it was
that is true.
You're the second podcaster that I was talking to at this seminar.
I walked up. I think I remember like you guys were sitting at a table. And then I like walk up and like just shake everybody's hands and everything. You guys were sitting with a Big C from Forecast.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I know you met him first. Because I went out on the other side.
I met the guys named the Relatables.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Are they still?
And then the OG podcast.
OG sessions.
Yeah,
they were there too.
We met them too.
That's Nick Usher. I'm friends with him.
Yeah, we met the shorter guy.
That's Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mean to call you short, bro. I don't know how tall you are.
But
shit.
Mike from the Forecasters is
that's Big C from Forecast.
Big C. Yeah, he was the one that's walking around getting our emails.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Like for me, like the way I do networking is I hand out stickers. You know, I mean, I don't try to take up everybody's time. Just say what's up to everybody. Like for me, I don't get nervous with meeting people, so I'm just gonna walk up and be like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
No, I remember everything. Cause I remember you came and was like, and we had the conversation and we were talking about the roadcaster and everything, and that was like what I remember. I was like, oh yeah. And then when everything came back around, and it was funny because I didn't even your podcast just popped up on my phone one day, and I was just like, I remember this dude from somewhere. I'm I don't know. I'm like, oh, and then everything started coming back to me. And
man. I say it's been a journey. I've enjoyed every second of it. I appreciate everybody who gives me an opportunity to come and speak and get involved with everybody. Like I said, like my main goal is to be friends with everybody, get involved with everybody, support everybody in any way I can, and that's my main goal.
Definitely, I definitely appreciate you for coming. I definitely appreciate you for dealing with my loud ass and
you guys don't bother me one single bit. I'm all about talking. I'm all about getting involved with you guys, like I said, and I hope to do more work with you guys in the future.
Definitely,
You will. What from another podcaster? What would you tell us to improve on or start working on a little bit?
To be honest, man, I wouldn't say you guys are doing anything wrong. You guys are doing your style of podcasting. Continue that. Don't let anybody fucking change what you guys are doing, because when you guys start changing it for what people want to see or what this and that, you're not doing what you want to do. At the end of the day, like what I say about my podcast, I put out what I want to put out. Doesn't matter if there's 100 likes or if there's 2 likes or whatever it is. I'm proud about everything I put out and stand on that, you know,
Period.
Because yes, exactly. Period. Stand on that, man, because all these people you see are successful.
Yeah.
They did what they want to do. Don't change for anybody, man. You know what I mean? If you guys feel like you're doing good and you guys are happy with what you put out, continue that, man. Don't change. I've had people try to tell me to change things up, or what if you start talking to this guest, or what about these guys?
We get that a lot.
Oh, I'm sure you do. And there's nothing wrong with recommendations. I take recommendations all the time. But if it's not someone I'm interested in, I'm not going to talk to them.
Right.
It doesn't matter how big they are or how small or whatever it is. It's just do your thing, man.
Yeah.
Just continue, you guys. You guys are doing a great job. I'm happy with, like I said, I think you guys did an amazing job. Everybody has their own personality here, which I think brings a different dynamic. And I think you guys are doing a beautiful job. So continue doing your thing and don't change for anybody.
Thank you, Connor.
Man, definitely appreciate that.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. So that this segment, we say our peace out. All you have to do is like give out your information, you know, where people can find you. So we're going to go around the table. You see, I'm going to close out the show because I opened it up today. Unless KD, you want to close out the show? You ever close out the show?
Out the show.
We breaking ground today?
Okay. All right, so you're going to go last then. All right, so Connor, it's going to start with you. Say your peace out, and then like all you got to do is say like your farewell at the end.
Yeah.
And just tell them all your information. Then it's going to go to me. Then it's going to go to UC. Then it's going to go to you, KD.
Hey,
All right.
Well,
So,
for everybody who's here listening, shout out to everybody that checked out the show and everything. I appreciate, like I said, you guys giving me the time of day to come sit here and be on your platform. It means the world to me. Like I said, you guys are the second podcast I've ever been on. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for the opportunity to come sit down and tell my story a little bit. And obviously you guys will get to know a lot more about me. But if anything, if you guys like my story or you're interested in anything I'm talking about, feel free to check me out. It's going to be at Who Are You Pod on everything. So YouTube, we did just start our YouTube channel. So we're kind of getting into that. I'm learning my editing, so don't hate too much on my videos yet. Everything from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or I guess it's X now. What else is there? I am big on Facebook too. I'm all Facebook all the time. It's going to be at Who Are You Pod. And if you guys are ever interested or you feel like you have a story that needs to be told, feel free to shoot me a message on the social media, or it's going to be whoareyoupod@yahoo.com. And maybe we'll have you guys on a future episode. But as I say, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate y'all's time, and peace out.
hey, all right, it's your favorite Uncle Neek. Thank you for tapping in. If you made it this far, you already know I love you, but that's my peace out. Holla.
Hey, it's your girl Katie Shonda.
I love it.
You know, I had to message you.
I know it sound like that. Yeah.
Say now, it's your boy Urben Currse. You know your mother favorite son. I got a gun. Yeehaw!
Yo, it's your girl KD.
It's your girl Daisy Dukes. Thank y'all for joining us. This is Troubleshoot. Deuces.
Deuces.
Hell yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.